$500 billion worth of U.S. goods over the next 5 years. Families, and this is something, just a little bit of a background of what's been going on here. Families of the victims from the 2024 Air India crash in Ahmedabad, this was a very, very deathly crash. If you are not aware, look it up, are suing Boeing, alleging defective dual switches played in a role in the disaster. It was actually really, really deadly. And a joint statement has finalized the first tranche of the U.S.-India trade deal. Is expected within just a few days after a formal agreement is reached in mid-March. And India's position has been criticized by the government for a lack of transparency before. We know this. And experts have warned that Trump's $500 billion purchase target may be unrealistic given India's total import levels.
Well, apparently India only imported about $45.3 billion from the U.S. in all of 2025, but that is part of $720 billion of imports that India brought in from everywhere, which highlights the scale. I don't anticipate seeing that $500 billion would be all in 1 year, let alone, you know, maybe half a decade, if not an entire decade. But Joseph, we've been talking about the demand for Boeing, and there is no shortage of demand for their airplanes.
No.
You're seeing like Qatar Airways, Etihad,
massive
Emirates.
backlog. You're not getting these planes for 10 years.
That's the
15,
thing.
right?
That's the thing, right? You want these planes, sure, fantastic, we'll take your order, but get in line. Now, to be fair to Boeing, their delivery cadence is really picked up. Now,
but they were allowed to deliver more.
Well, yeah, they're allowed, and they're actually able to deliver more, right?
Yeah.
And you're seeing that not just in the 737-800 or the 737 MAX, you're seeing in the 787, a lot higher margin product on that bad boy.
Yeah.
So you got to give Boeing their
credit
clout here.
That's why I think this name should be performing significantly better than what it is. I've said for some time, there's only two really major airlines that have market share in the commercial airsppace.
Airbus and Boeing. Yeah.
Right? So they essentially run a monopoly in the space, but yet the stock performs like it can't get out of its own way. I understand there's FAA issues and everything along those lines, supply chain issues. These guys are using zip ties here and there, but that's behind us at this point, right? Like the supply chain. I don't want to hear supply chain issues that much anymore. Remember when the ship got stuck in the Strait for a couple years ago? They're like, hey man, this is just a backlog increase of prices everywhere. But the demand is there for Boeing, and I don't think it's going anywhere. I think this stock should be performing significantly better. It's the margin issue as well, too.
Yeah, and what I'd like to see is this 2024 Air India crash in Ahmedabad, whether that forms part of the deal here for the aircraft. So does Boeing kind of try to strike a deal with the Indian government, or the individuals who had family members who sadly perished away from this, some sort of deal so that you can kind of get that contingent liability of litigation away in exchange, you know, for these deliveries? I have no idea if that's even feasible, but, you know, the fact that it's a legal overhang probably doesn't help the company.
Dara said it right, a duopoly. A duopoly is essentially what these
duopoly, oligopoly, it's like, you know, and maybe Embraer is a little bit involved, Bombardier a little bit involved.
But they don't know, it's not even close. Like it's not, it doesn't affect anything, you know what I mean?
All right, guys, it is 2:04, so we gave back the Katinam and the Neil the minute they gave us back.
We were, no.
They owed us 3.
Yeah, exactly. So we were up 2, now we're up 6 now.
Right.
Going on, we may as well just prolong it another 40 seconds.
That's crazy.
See if we can grab
you can prolong it. I'm
going to
get my food.
Yeah,
you can sit here.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, guys, it's been a great week. You know, the markets obviously were red most of the days, but today, nice recovery day. I hope everybody was strategic about how, you know, what they sold, what they got into. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I hope everybody is green. And
don't party away all those short gains from over the week. Eh? You don't want to spend it all in one place, as Joey likes to say.
Thing is, thank you, boys. The thing that Sharif forgot to mention there is, he did look over to me. He was like, "Hey, do you mind if we go a couple minutes over?" You know.
Like,
so it's like I was like, "Yeah, no, I got you."
What question is that?
You know, yeah, I was like, "No problem."
You can do whatever you want.
Right there. So thank you guys. What a great show. The midday show was. So shout out.
I'm just glad there was no dumbassery.
No, what was that? Was there something going on there?
Well, it's a new word of the day.
Oh, is it? There's a new word of the day?
And just to prove it's an actual word, it's not an actual word.
Which is probably not, yeah.
But according to the Urban Dictionary,
the green fish was bad.
The actions of a dumbass, the actual actions of a dumbass, or we've got the act of being a dumbass, things that are dumbass-like, an act of dumbass behavior, such as pushing someone down a flight of stairs.
What? That's like evil. That's not even being dumb.
I would say
you're pushing someone down the stairs. What the hell's wrong with you?
I mean, that's assault.
I mean, if they're an old lady, maybe fine, but like, why would you push anybody down the stairs?
The Urban Dictionary is fantastic. I just can't remember how we spelled quadunk because I know we put it in there.
QW
is okay. So it's QW.
QW. Yeah, that's a U.
So quad.
QW. Quadunk. Yeah, something like that.
No.
Yeah.
How did we spell? I know we put this in here.
You have a Q. KW.
KW?
Yeah. Qua. D. No. Okay.
No. You know what? Yeah. I know we put it.
Maybe it was. And
it was like a big sharp drop in the market or some nonsense, and we actually one day we were live. We're like, hey, that's a word somebody used on the show.
Yeah, quadunk. It's like this guy has it right there. Buffalo Soldier Son. QUA
DONK.
No.
It doesn't show up though.
Maybe they got rid of it.
They better not have gotten rid of it. No. What about our other one? I can't. The one that we put in back when we had our trading floor is wildly inappropriate. So.
Okay, well, the quadunking is when a stock just makes a move down, kind of unexpectedly. So that's the stock has quadunked.
Oh no, they still have ours. The
do they?
PT.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, okay, so they're not taking rid of it all. Okay, so there's the go. I just took a fill there for the position board. I'm long on Amazon, as Amazon has kind of quadunked a little bit here off of that move. But what a call that $200 was. That goes up to 211. Unfortunately, everyone's asking if I was still in it. I got out at 205 right there when we broke through the 25 period. We didn't have a big piece left, so whatever, man. We made our money early, and we should probably have held. So we got to do a little bit of a better job. But at the end of the day, I was only going to hold anyways until this break right there of the 25 period. I got to just think about how to hold on a little bit longer, but we're back in, so we'll hit Sirens up right now. Nice move back into VWAP. I'm going to wait for a 205 break, so the bigger position will come on board when that hits, but we are also at the 200 period moving average, or sorry, the 50 period on the 5-minute chart as well. So welcome everybody back to the show on a Friday, and what a great day it has been if you were a dip buyer yesterday.
Yes.
Dip buying today, we'll go over some stocks, how they're reacting. Obviously, Amazon really didn't give that much of a dip-off open. I mean, we're able to get long 200, was sort of waiting for a little bit lower there, but didn't get, our full position. Oh, we got a full position, but didn't make that huge move that we saw Google make. Google went from up to down really aggressively. Amazon now just trying to fight backside here. So we'll sit on this trade and see if we can make something happen here. But that's what we're doing now into the close. Should be a fun day. Looking for more opportunities. Talk about Bitcoin, man, breaking through 70. That's great. We saw that 61,000 print last night. That was not great. Or sorry, 59. Broke through 60. Yeah, it went 59.8 or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So we'll talk all about that. Good day so far. We messed up on our. No, Roblox. We messed up on this trade. We got out of this one pretty early there on Roblox. If you come to see the chart, it went up $8 from where we were. Who's over there? Is that that's Andre? Nice move to that one. And then AMD was our other play that we just kept going short at 206, and that finally came out. So we're working on a pretty good day here. We're just waiting for more movement. Oh, you found it?
I did, and thank you in the chat for.
Oh, it's KH?
It's K. Okay, first of all, I don't know why we spelt it this way.
How did I define it exactly what we
Doesn't
said?
make any sense.
Can't even remember.
So
that.
An aggressive move to the downside, and the usage. Jim Cramer said to buy Meta before. Now I remember exactly when we did this. Meta before earnings, and it went quadunk the next day. No, that was when Meta was at 300 and something. And Kramer said something like, it's the best name in the Mag 7. The next day it tanked. It didn't find a bottom till 100. I'm pretty sure that was it.
But the quadunking is more in reference to, like, basically all the names this week have had a quadunk moment, pretty much.
Yeah, well,
it doesn't have to be Meta.
Bitcoin, I'd say, that's
Meta's
an
extreme example.
Silver is a quadunk for sure. Like, I don't know, like a stock drops 1 or 2%, don't at me with that nonsense. We got to save it for the big spots. What was I going to say? I'm just in the midday I was talking about a couple of versions. One working, one not. One's EA, and then the other one is working for now. But the big story, I think, would be it's the recovery rally. Bitcoin up, IBIT's up 10%. You can't really say Bitcoin's up 10%. Because if you're doing Bitcoin from the low, 60,000 to 69 is 15% plus. Like we're actually just underneath the 70,000 mark. And ETH is back above 2K. So big time recovery in crypto land, no questions asked. This is pretty much what people were looking for. That said, I know we'll do the rundown when, Sharif, they went extra, so we'll do the rundown when they're ready. I know we had that big spike into the downside, but if I zoom in, here I can zoom in a little bit further. We've pulled back into the prior theoretical support line. What would suck is if we can't regain the strength over the 70,000, and then maybe we haven't found a bottom. I thought we get like a wipeout bottom on the weekend. Like that was my thing. Like, okay, well, when yesterday was happening, like, yeah, Saturday, Sunday, you get those like weekend things. You log into your Coinbase account. I envision myself doing that on like Saturday or Sunday. And looks like that wasn't the case. Like you just had to pick it up last night or yesterday. So far, so good. But are we out of the woods yet? I don't know. I don't know that it's that simple. Steve Eam or M is saying short Bloom Energy.
Bloom Energy.
Isn't Bloom, what the?
That one can go Bloom quick.
Apparently it did.
We have
Bloom's at the low of the day right now.
Is it? Okay, we have $1 now, almost $1 as Amazon back to the upside. Yeah, Bloom reported, right?
Yes.
They're just getting some out here. I just want to bring that to everyone's attention here because we just got up into the 200 period moving average off this dip buy for Amazon. So we started light there on a break. I thought I missed it. We didn't. It came back in. We were able to get filled on that same candle was 206 to 205.75. So, and then we bought some more there at 206, and now we blow to the upside here as we continue to trade the strong name here in AMZN. And yeah, we're excited. We're gonna have review here. Sia and Sharif, everybody's in the background right now. We're gonna go over the top names that you guys want us to talk about there today. Did Google get off the mat at all with this move higher? They were down, yeah, okay, so it was down about 2.5%, 3% at the lows here today for Google, and now that's back. Ooh. That's battled back. Ooh, look at this, 324.50. What did you got going on right here? That's been a nice hold. Wow, this reminds me of yesterday's 316 level. Thank God Joe's not here. Let's be hearing some Austin stuff. 324.50 right here. So yeah, interesting level now for Google. Will we break it to the downside? What's this market want to do? This is actually a pretty interesting level too. Oh gosh, am I going to make a mistake here? All right, we're long. We're about $1 in the money on Amazon, but definitely looking at this short right now in the Nasdaq as we look to break higher. So that gets me out of some Amazon right now. So let's do some more of that right here. And because if the Nasdaq's going to fall, we don't necessarily need to be long Amazon, but that's a good trade. We're just sort of stacking up on top right now. Brendan's got a new job over there. They're putting together cabinets right now. So get it, Brendan.
That's why it's all light. Like they have the lights on over there. I can see the production team.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Like IKEA over there.
Fabian's over there doing some work.
I don't know what the cabinet's for, to be honest with you.
Maybe it is an IKEA cabinet.
No, it's probably not IKEA.
No, it's not. It's probably too high class. All right, guys, thank you again for your patience. Okay, keep on talking, says Andre, because something about Sharif.
No, we will not keep on talking.
Yeah, we're going to get that going. We don't know how to keep talking.
Excel cart, MSTR rollover to 130 before close. So I'm actually looking at BMNR. I was in it before when it broke the trend. It put in a lower high, but once it got past my break even, like look, the support came right in here. Like I shorted this, maybe even missed it by a little bit, and then it kind of made that bounce, but it came right back into the trend break level. So I think this is the spot I like BMNR, but that's more, like ETH needs to lose 2,000 for that to be any good, and I haven't looked at MSTR to be honest with you, because I knew I was only going to look at IBIT and BMNR. I find you just complicate things if there's like 5 things in the space and you're trying to look at all of them.
What is Bitcoin doing right now? Is it going to bounce? Remember, we said 70 might have been the top.
It's right at underneath 70. That's why I'm looking for the turn, because if we're not going to hold above 70, I'm looking for a turn this afternoon. But MSTR would just be the same kind of setup here.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference between that
We're going to trade together anyways.
And BMNR here? I know one obviously is a treasury play effectively for Bitcoin, and the other one is ETH, but it's not like they're going to move differently by a whole lot. So I'm thinking for myself, like 20 and a third up here as an
Oh, what was that new IPO? Jennifer Gardner. I just saw in the chat there was a new IPO, Jennifer Gardner's company.
For some reason, it was not in the database
Okay,
today.
but what was it?
It was, I have to go to the page.
Okay, fine. If we don't know, we don't know. I want to look it up only because
OFRM, Once Upon a Farm.
And we don't, that's not in our system?
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes this happens.
Yeah,
it's rare. It'll probably be in our database on Monday. Just for some reason, it didn't get put in today.
Well, here's what it looks like. It's a good thing it didn't. We would have got run over there. So,
goodness.
There's the IPO, opens at 21. I guess it goes to 21.33. I would have not got out there.
You get
and then it just goes flushy. So I would have lost on this IPO. It's not, To say I would have lost, I don't know. Neil and I have talked about this. I'm not sure we would have taken all these trades anymore anyways, but as your opinion was, what was the rank? What was the...
This one wasn't that big. It
okay,
was
so we might not taken it
200 million, that's not that
200 million?
That's not that big.
What's the market cap of the company, though?
Oh, this page never has...
4 billion? Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyways, this one, I don't know if it looks the same there right now, but yeah, so that was the initial move. Looks like it got bought up at $20, up to 21. So it moves 10% off the lows, looking to break a little bit lower right now. This is Once Upon a Farm.
What is that, by the way? What do they do? Once Upon Farm.
Yeah, I know, that's what we're talking about there, Brendo. Brendo's over there building and letting us know about Jennifer Gardner over here. Apparently it was a pretty nice bell ringing over there.
Plant-rich meals for babies, toddlers, and babies.
Baby food.
Okay.
Organic snack food. Don't tell my wife, we'll probably order it immediately. Okay, so let's go back. I bet you my wife's probably heard of that stuff before.
Yeah?
Probably.
I'm trying to...
But if it's for little kids, I don't know.
Here.
Anyways.
It's like that squeeze stuff. I think we had something like...
Oh, yeah. We have those squeeze things.
There's, what's the brand that's...
Yeah. Those are the big ones.
I forget what it's called. We have a bunch of them. I don't even know the name of it. There you go. So Once Upon a Farm.
They're those squeeze things.
Yeah. I don't know how that's going to...
Okay. All right. Let's go back over to the desk and start talking more about recent stocks other than Once Upon a Farm.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. CNI, we're locked and loaded. The big boys, they're locked and loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get your tickers on the Afternoon Rundown, you have to join us in the chat. Get on in right now and vote for your favorite tickers. You gotta vote before or now, though, but you can get in and still do it, but make sure to throw in that $ before the ticker of your choice. Let's start the Afternoon Rundown by looking at all four major averages, and they all are decidedly positive after a very red week, especially on the triple Qs. Speaking of the triple Qs, we're a little off the highs, but we're still up 1 3/4. The SPY up 1 2/3. Above that 688 area, but still south of 690. The Dow doing it live here, up 2 1/5, and the Dow is almost at highs, trying to take out that $500 level on the DIA. That's the ETF. And then the IWM Russell 2000 ETF, also the strongest performing major average of the day, up 3 1/3%. Fantastic look there. Let's start with the first ticker as decided by you. SMX, what a volatile monster. This one was during the midday up 103%, Sia. It's trading up after they extended their capital runway through 2028.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm seeing here too. Extended its available capital into 2028 by boosting its ELOC commitment to $250 million.
And this one was all sorts of volatile, but it was a very good continuation play. Moves crazy though, boys. Up 104%. What's your take?
This take and this hour of the show is brought to you by eSignal, where you can find your take on individual stocks by having a charting platform that is professional and where you can trade smarter, not harder. Connect to 50+ brokers, trade directly through API access, imbalance locator, tick replay, everything you could want. It's entitlement based so that you can customize your experience to your trading needs. Big shout out to eSignal, which we use here. And we could also use it to look at SMX. And it fits all of the bills for, I guess, a strong small capper. But there's always one thing you got to do, which is this a habitual line stepper? What and how many times is this thing split? What are we talking about here? Split. Wait a minute. This split midway last year. Split again in August. Split again in... What is going? How many times are you going to split? It's like 4 splits.
This name split or?
So it's split like 4 times? Oh, no. All right, get paid while you can, everybody. In SMX is the best way to think about it, because anything that reverse splits, like if they're engaged in that game, usually it's kind of short-lived. So enjoy the fact it's above VWAP up 100% today. But these are the kind of names that I don't know how long you want to be in them. Just looking at the history of them. Yeah, have fun with it. Sometimes I guess you get a longer run, but yeah, have fun with it while it lasts, and look at where it topped out even here today. Like wick top at the 20 level, which is exactly where it did the wick top. back in here. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes we pull these up and they're like not even that bad of a chart. In this particular case, the history is make your money and run.
Yeah, I think you just gotta, I'm not gonna call it up, but just to that experience, it's like, yeah, those are names where when you see moves, 100+% in a day, it's always, in my opinion anyway, it's always good to take a little bit off and then play with house money. So that's something that I would always suggest, and you always see me do that even here on Amazon, we talk, or on any stock that we put on where, you'll take out 50%, and then hold that last 50 or whatever percent you're looking at there. And as long as you're out, allows you to still be profitable on the name, or, I mean, it doesn't have to be 1-to-1 exactly. You could still, if you make 300 when it's profitable, then you give back 400 of that. I mean, that's, close enough. So I would just say, put some money in your pocket whenever you're playing these sort of fast runners that don't look like the rest of them, and Neil that's why you want to zoom out, and that's why I like that line about the habitual line stepper, because if it's made these similar trades before and allowed traders to get caught in these longs or shorts, I just think you want to be smarter than that. Take profit, because you know what, like we always trying to shoot the moon, but at some point it's okay to get just to that outer orbit there. You don't have to, I don't know, you're the nerd. Whatever that next level is there, the atmospheric, whatever. What was it on Amazon where the blue, whatever, they went up there?
First of all, they didn't go anywhere
Katy Perry.
The analogy I like to give is, I don't have a coin. The analogy.
Yeah, you did. It was about the distance of the coin from itself.
Do this.
Hey, there was some coin here. Here's a coin.
Oh, there was a coin outside.
Okay.
So if this is the Earth, the thickness of a coin is how far Katy Perry went out.
Right.
So when you think you went to space, man, you ain't.
But I think the point is you would take it anyways.
Oh, you would
if that's your thing.
If somebody sends me up there for free, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
For free.
I mean,
hold on a second.
I'm not spending 50 grand to what is SpaceX?
Oh man.
What are they charging? 100?
I don't know.
50 grand?
Katy Perry. Shout out to Justin
It's not worth it.
Trudeau as well. What do you mean no? What do you mean no? The man is dating Katy Perry. I don't know. I think that's pretty good for Justin Trudeau, son of Fidel Castro. Okay, back to Sharif.
Look it up. See the picture side by side.
Get him, Joey. All right, Nvidia next here, up 7 1/3%. Jensen was on CNBC making all sorts of pronouncements, defending that $60 billion Capex build-out, saying it's sustainable. Here's what he said, Sia, quote, to the extent that people continue to pay for AI and the AI companies are able to generate a profit from that, they're going to keep on doubling.
Yep.
Those are his words. Sia.
Also, you can see on my screen right here, it has been, first of all, Sharif, it's been a while since Nvidia's moved like this. It's up 7.3, sorry, is it 7.3 right now? It's, 7.3% almost. And what I want to say is Nvidia is pushing the release of its new graphic card this year to meet the demands for AI processors, but it will not be releasing a new gaming graphics chip as of this year because of the insane demand in the world right now.
All right, guys, we have to pause for a second. Dow, all-time highs, up 2.3%. The DIA is at all-time highs. The Dow just crossed 50,000 for the first time. Everyone was calling blood in the market. Well, we have a major average making all-time highs.
Are you Donald Trump over there? I mean, this guy's always tweeting about the Dow. You know what I'm saying over there?
No one cares about the Dow.
Here, look. This is what I'm trying to say. Joey, trying to say boo on Justin Trudeau right here. But anyways, I just want to say, good job for the former PM right into there. Shout out to Canada, of course, and Justin Trudeau. You might not like his economic policies or anything like that, but
there's Trudeau jokes I would love to make right now, but I'm gonna not say them.
Whatever. It is what it is right now. Okay, I'm distracted. What are we talking about?
The Dow? No,
the Dow.
Nvidia. No, it was Nvidia.
Oh, Nvidia.
No, because I have the Dow in front of me because Sharif was talking about the Dow making all-time. I have the diamonds. There we go, all-time highs on the well, if you're calling it up, the DIA. Oh goodness, it's Friday. But Nvidia, it does hold. We are breaking. But before we do cartwheels and celebrations and all that good stuff, like we're basically just back to where we were on Tuesday when things fell apart on Tuesday. Because things fell apart on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, and then just not Friday.
Yeah, not Friday.
So
let's go Friday.
So really, Friday's good. But there's some things that have come all the way back and others which have a little bit more to prove. And I think NVIDIA up 7% is fantastic. It does look like it's not a huge, there's better volume bottoms. When you're going through charts, you're going to find some names that yesterday had like their biggest volume day of the week and biggest volume day of the month at the lows. And those that turned around, I feel a little bit better about. And the ones that just did regular volume and there was nothing spectacular about it. And then today on lighter than normal volume for NVIDIA, it's then filling in some of the gaps. So all we're doing is filling in this gap without getting all the way on light volume. So I'm not completely convinced. And then as said by Pops Mafia, his question is what happens at 190? Exactly. Because 190 was the problem. Like we had no strength above 190, and every time we failed 190, we'd fail it for like $4 in a row. So that's the real question to me, and I don't think we answer that question today, barring, like the Nasdaq's up 2%. The only chance we get to that 190 is if the Nasdaq does a move in the last 90 minutes that we have not seen in quite some time. I don't see that happening, but I would be inclined to fade that. But Monday's a different story for NVIDIA. Like I said, there's names that did better volume bottoms in NVIDIA that have a bit better volume on the bounce as well. So I'm not completely convinced here, but that's fine. It's still NVIDIA. And all the Capex spend has told us that they will be just okay.
Yeah, my trade today, I mean, I had indicated AMD, you know, in the chip space for a short. It's just like, did not think the market would be up 2%. So we bailed on that pretty early. We did make a decent amount on AMD to begin with, but it wasn't breaking lower, right? And when you don't break VWAP, like we got to start. So this is like part of the plan. You can take shorts all you want, but if you keep on resisting the downside move, then you know, sometimes there's only one way to go, and that's northbound or southbound if you keep on pushing some of those limits. And we didn't even really test VWAP. We did a little bit here. We're able to cover. And then once we realized that it was no more, then we just sort of stopped that trade right there at 207. That was our last stop out. But the 206s and the 205s, we did get stopped out once there. It was good. It's written down on the note. And the reason why we picked on AMD was really just because of this. Like we were thinking that if the market was going to be a red one today, that we have a stock that definitely has that pedigree. And we nailed AMD on almost all three of these days. And today we did again. It's just not as profitable as the last because we didn't get that sort of, as Neil has quite nicely penned, we didn't get that quadunk action today. We had it the last 3 days. We didn't get it there today. And if anything, this looks like a decent hold, like in around that $200 mark. So, you know, sure, today's a buy the dip day. We're not expecting Nvidia or AMD to be up 7 or 8% on these kind of days, especially when there's been this much blood. But sometimes there's a retreat back, and it looks like AMD's doing it today. I will be looking to short this thing next week, though. Let's just wait to see what the market does. I think today's a really great day. You see Bitcoin, you see it's risk on day today, so everyone's buying up those dips. Let's see if it continues. I think AMD's a great short, just the market's got to be on your side.
Let's talk a little AMD next year, Sean. I know you just mentioned it, but this one is also up 7.5% this morning. AMD and Intel collectively did warn their Chinese clients that AI server CPUs are going to be in basically backlog or high demand, and they can't basically meet some of the demand for those in China. See ya. I can get it, I promise.
No worries. So like I was saying for NVIDIA, AMD has also flagged certain supply constraints with some customer delivery timelines that are extending up to 8 weeks, reinforcing that this is genuinely an industry-wide issue. And AMD shares are up 74% over the past 12 months, reflecting enthusiasm around AI and data centers. And currently, AMD is up almost 7.5%.
And when there is low supply and high demand, you know what that means? Higher prices, which means better margins for these guys. AMD, up nice, boys.
Yo, how's that cabinet going over there?
The cabinet is exactly in the same state as it was 20 minutes ago.
They're trying over there.
I'd be way worse than, I mean, whatever.
The wife, Marissa, loves putting stuff like that together. Whenever we go to IKEA, she's just like,
oh, she loves
leave it with me. Well, because I'm the same way. I want to get in there and like, not like mansplain it, but like not even use the instructions. Like just go right in and just like attack something.
That was Aaron's loft bed.
Yeah, and then
I was just like, and then
it winds up
like, did you look at this and that? And I'm like, nah, man, this is pretty easy and blah, blah,
yeah.
blah.
So Marissa's like, honestly, like, just leave it to me. It's like even taking down the Christmas stuff or whatever. It's just like, let me do it. Don't just go play NHL with the kids or something.
Okay, so we kind of just talked about AMD, so I don't know if it's probably no point in me going over. I know you just already went over it.
How about we look at like a name like a Google like on a day two? Because
well, there was a question. Actually, there was a
let's take
question specifically about Amazon. Oh, wait a minute. Amazon might be on the rundown. Okay, so I think Amazon might be next anyways.
I'm in Amazon now, so.
So yeah, let's go back to this. We just talked about AMD, so we'll go to the next one, which apparently is Amazon anyways.
It is, Neil, and as you guys know, Amazon reported after the bell yesterday, and it was widely looked at as a mixed report. They missed on the bottom line in terms of earnings per share, but they beat on everything else. Azure is growing at a nice cap, but it is that $200 billion, Sia, in capital expenditures that the market's having a hard time digesting.
Yep, so I have a couple important details over here that I'm gonna go over. You can see on my screen, I have the Amazon tax, income tax contingencies and everything right over here. So US President Donald Trump's tax laws has sharply cut Amazon's corporate tax bill. Yep. And according to the company's current taxes, accounting measure of taxes incurred last year declined to $1.2 billion from $9 billion, which is a big number. According to, this on my screen here, which is a securities filing that was released today. Sure. And the law basically allowed companies to claim immediate deductions for certain capital investments rather than spreading those write-offs over the several years. And the second was that the new law reversed a piece of the Republican tax law that companies had been complaining about. And the old law basically required them to spread out deductions for research starting in the year of 2022. Okay. So the new law permits companies immediate deductions for new domestic research and also lets companies accelerate previously delayed deductions. So for accounting purposes, Amazon's global effective tax rate has actually gone up in the year 2025, increasing to 19.6% from 13.5% in 2024. And that part obviously is because the company's research tax credits declined while their profits took off.
That's great information, guys. I have to intervene here. There is a Netflix headline. The Justice Department casts a wide net on Netflix's business practices in the merger probe. This is being reported by the Wall Street Journal. Netflix is reacting positively to this, moving up into 82. So here's the article. The Justice Department is investigating whether Netflix has engaged in anti-competitive practices as it probes the streaming giant's proposed acquisition of WBD and HBO Max streaming, according to a civil subpoena viewed by the Journal. Questioning how Netflix competes with rivals suggests the department is looking at whether it planned a Warner deal could entrench its market power or lead to monopoly in the future. The U.S. law gives enforcers broad powers to oppose mergers that could lead to a monopoly. Netflix, guys, in focus.
So you think that would be a short,
honestly,
I don't know.
Them taking over Warner Brothers, that's going to lead them to monopoly?
No,
come on, there's so much content out there right now.
YouTube.
We talked about YouTube. I mean, not only that, there's so many more streaming options. Like Apple's putting out their own content, Amazon's putting out their own content, right? So I think
it's capped.
But to Sharif's point, I mean, you have no idea what the FCC or DOJ or whoever's going to look into this wants to do there, and who knows? I don't think it's politically motivated or anything. It's just, this is just what they do. Yeah. Lawyers and everybody agencies got to get paid. You know what I mean? So
I want to fade WBD on that news, but I don't think.
I don't know why Netflix is going up on that news there, but I mean, it looks like it's spiked. I think it's a downside play for Netflix. Like, forget about the whole Warner Brothers acquisition.
That was the initial move. It dropped $1 on the initial.
Yeah, but then I mean, I don't know if there's I don't know if there's any prints down there, like serious ones, but downside move there. I think this will be a red move for Netflix. So if you're long Netflix now, just think about potentially exiting it and letting the dust settle on that. But that's just news that just came through. So we'll have to wait to see how that is digested here one more time. NFLX getting, I guess, that probe. All kidding aside, you don't ever really want to get probed too much. But there it is. I mean, depends on what it is, I guess. $200 basement there. We had Amazon written down today on the note of stickiness called the sticky note right there. So let's go over here and we'll just get that figured out. Here's Amazon. We had it early. Here's the note that we had out. We had Amazon 200. We said key level here. Let's have some patience and wait to see where that fills out. Well, it came out real quick off the open, right? To the point where I wasn't even sure if I was going to take it, but we did. We had a little bit of a lower bid. Our best fill is $200.50. And then it just blasted through. And then we take advantage of this little dip down, right? Came back in. We were actually, I saw that. That's an interesting one. I went over to Apple and I didn't see movement on it. So I don't know. I know Apple's right now working on a CarPlay for Tesla as well. So that's something cool. They don't have that right now. But right back into 205.50 there. So almost the same kind of a trade. Let it settle down, bring it into VWAP, and then rip that to the high side. We're now $1.50 in on this name. And we just put this on right when we went live. So you heard me talking about this. We put it on. If you followed me, it's $1.70 now in the money. And I'm going to take another piece out right now because why not? We're long at 205.85. There it is. We get that 207.50. It's another big trade, man. We've taken about $7 or $8 out of Amazon today, and it's been a good one. Normally I don't trade these names day one, but Google was so good yesterday. I wanted to go over to Amazon today, and it's been printing out. So here goes Amazon, nice upside play.
Yeah, nice on Amazon. Too slow on WBD. It felt like that's a short on WBD. It was just when you're listening to the news, it just dropped a point. I'm going to try and catch this on the flip side, bounce, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm looking for the fade back in on Warner Brothers if we get a chance at it. The only strike against Amazon, some people were saying one of the questions was, we got in the chat, is why wasn't Amazon doing what the market is doing? I would simply say this: Amazon just reported and has a massive gap to be filled here. So it's a little bit different in that it's day one after earnings. So as impressive as the rest of the market has been, you do also have to keep in mind that if you're comparing Amazon's quarter to Alphabet's, it's not like it's going to stack up. So I don't think you could expect Amazon to have been as good off the lows as Alphabet was. Because when you're comparing the apples to apples, ultimately, it just didn't stack up against that quarter. So good, just not necessarily as good as Google, which is still absolutely fine. Disco 22, did I buy Amazon today? No. The only play, look, my dip, I'm not gonna lie, like my dip buy that I had in my personal account, I recently bought IBM. I was kind of thinking Bitcoin would be a weekend thing, so I was gonna look to pick some of that up if there was like a dip down. And then I had a dip buy in ARM because if you heard us do the aftermarket show on ARM's earnings, I was like, oh, this should head lower. And I had a bid in the 80s for the next day, and then I just watched ARM go up like 20-something% in the last 2 days, and I didn't get to stick with it. But Amazon was not on my plan to look for a dip buy on my personal account until at least the second or third day, because the last time I bought off earnings, or when we bounced VWAP here, it was actually back here in August, it was earnings day, second day, third day. Third day you could buy the close, fourth day you could buy the open and still get the same price. So I just felt like I could be patient about it. It looks like that might not end up playing out because you have a distinctly larger bounce than the last time it kind of dipped off earnings. But this is also a more extreme dip. Like the volatility on this dip here versus the one we have is different. So I would suspect that almost said tomorrow. On Monday, you could easily be back like $5, and that's nothing. And then we still have a shot on day 3 or day 4 of the $200 level. Should be one name to go, I believe. I think. Yep. We've got one more name to go to Sia.
Let's go find out.
Yeah, Sharif had to take his leave, but I'm just going to go over the last stock for today. MU Micron, you can see on my screen right here, the stock. Analysts have expected Nvidia to not place any HBM4 orders with Micron in the near future as of now. And the stock was slipping a bit, but currently Micron is up 2.4%. Also, the company's EVP and Chief Business Officer, Sumit Sadna, has also sold 10.7 million in stock. And the sale went through on the 2nd of February and consisted the sale of 24,950 shares, prices ranging from 429 to 431.76 per share. Micron, guys, back to you.
Well, the bounce is, well, it's better here than in some places, although the mission is not complete. For Micron, unfortunately, there was so much damage done at the beginning of the week. I think it's up a couple of points. You've got a distinct bottom, but when you think about where we started this week, like, okay, I suppose it was up here on Tuesday. There was a high at 440, but distinction without a difference, because we started a little bit bullish and we completely fell apart. We're not even halfway. We're not even back at support from Tuesday. So you're closing in the gap, but I almost think like this looks a little head and shoulders-y. Probably not even. It just sounded weird.
That is a term.
Head and shouldery.
Shoulders-y.
You guys know what I'm saying. I don't know how that's supposed to be said, but
it Friday yet? Or?
It's definitely a Friday.
Okay, good.
No, so even if we pop a little bit higher, this 420 looks like it would be a resistance. I just feel like there's a lot of names that I'm not completely convinced don't have a little bit more room to go. And Micron hasn't even reported yet. Like, we've gotten Western Digital and we got SanDisk. Those two kind of linked at the hip, reporting on the same night. But we still have to wait for Micron. So I'm not completely convinced that this one is A-OK. After this recent dip. A little further would make some sense to me. And that 420 as resistance next week, I think lines up.
All right, we have a super chat that we would like to show. All right, SNDK, here we go. SNDK puts for March the 20th, okay, 540 strike price for 569. If you know, that was gambling. Okay, I think anytime you're playing options, obviously it's going to be a certain aspect of gambling because they can expire flat and out of the money or whatever, but looks like you're giving yourself some time here. So if I'm just going to look at a chart of SMDK here and just try to think about what your strike prices are, 540, yeah, I mean, that's basically where we were earlier today, or I guess not today, yesterday, down here at that 560, 540 area. I mean, I think that there is a little bit of a bubble in the memory space. So I think that there is a chance that SNDK does lose a little bit of its oomph. So yeah, I don't mind. How could they only cost $5.69? That doesn't seem like that's
I think he corrected himself, 55.69.
Okay.
That makes more sense.
Ooh.
Yeah, he corrected.
I was going to say, man, sign me up.
I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
That seems very reasonable.
There's no chance it'll be $5.
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, I think you're right on there. But again, if you guys are trading options, so in order if that was $56 and the strike price is 540, you're going to need to be at 480 or so, right, in order for that to start finally. Getting some money out of that. So I think you're at the right spot there. 480 is that little shelf. And if we do lose that, then we could potentially be going into this 410 area. So yeah, man, there it is. I don't know if it's David's, what he used to say is gambling trade of the day or whatever. But yeah, an options play.
It used to be.
It might be safer with Micron, I don't know.
I thought it was David's stupid idea. Then you've gotten away from that one. I always thought that was kind of funny. When you're making the gambling
shares,
play. But
yeah, I see what you're saying there, Marx. Shares can expire worthless, but
of course.
Not really. Not to that extent. I mean, worthless.
It depends on the company you're talking about.
And that's why an SNDK, at some extent, by the time March rolls around. But it's risk to reward, right? I mean, that's the benefit of trading options.
Like if we were talking Beyond Meat, that would be an example.
There's lots of companies that have gone bankrupt.
An example of something that could go bankrupt. I mean, see, this is the hilarious thing because in our little challenge, and we're like, if you could put shorts on of things that are not in the index, I was like, well, I would just short Beyond Meat at $1. That would have been my pick. I'm like, that's pretty easy, because that's going to zero, and it's a third of the way there, everybody. It's almost there for sure. Look, we've now got. It's already 2:45.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, we've made more progress toward Power Hour than that cabinet has to getting completed. I mean, maybe there's some. I can't tell, but it doesn't look like they're getting anywhere on that thing. No, I'm not saying I would do better.
Can we get a camera over there? I want everyone to see what you're doing.
Okay, that's a little better.
It's almost done.
Yeah,
I think they just need the doors. They need some shelving units.
You guys can't. You don't have to bang it. That we get the idea. It's like one of those. Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
Like the cheap lockers from high school, you bang on it. Like that's the level of cabinet that we have going on right now. Anybody knows, you know what I'm talking about.
I think they can get a camera. I think
you feel like you can put your fist through.
No, it's basically like a sheet metal.
Yeah, like a sheet metal.
It's just like it's very, aluminum. Aluminum.
What are we storing?
To put all the gear and tidy up everything.
It is very dusty in here. That's why I'm sneezing all the time and I have to keep allergy meds all the time. It is Friday, everybody. Go ONDS, says Michael Burnett. Hey,
Go Chilean Nightmare.
Whatever happened to Burnett?
Aaron Burnett?
No, the softball Burnett. Isn't that
Burnett? AJ Burnett?
No, from the Laurier alumni softball tournament that we used to play in.
Oh, that's no.
Wasn't that
the name? Was Burkett?
Oh, Burkett. No, Burkett.
I'm saying AJ Burnett here. I'm talking about pitcher. I'm talking about Aaron Burnett on some other network.
We used to play in the softball team.
Yes, Luis, I am of Italian descent, my friend. My father was born in Italy.
Get going, ONDS. I'm doing this, and then I'm hitting save, which
Francavilla de Mare.
right here. ONDS could be breaking out. I feel like there was news the other day on this. I'm going to just double check. Because I don't remember
Carol
in
Burnett,
particular what the news was. I guess earlier in the week, I guess it was just like they had a federal defense contract earlier in the week. Nothing too crazy. I guess they get headlines like that all the time. So nothing too crazy, but there's a nice V shape with a potential break for a gap fill. Whether it does it today, 980 is about the level for that breakout on ONDS. What are we doing now? I guess we're sliding into it. Inventory before it breaks. That could be a play. Eddie the Dealer's got a super chat in there. Let's throw that one up. Eddie the Dealer, have a great weekend. You have a great weekend as well. Mamba out. Shout out.
This guy's got that mentality. That's
Kobe.
You need that Mamba mentality.
Kobe. My daughter's always saying Kobe. I'm like, she drops a sock from like 2 feet away. I'm like, that's not Kobe.
That is Kobe.
No, it's not. You couldn't have missed. I'm like, you couldn't miss. I go hit that from the other side of your bedroom, and then we can talk. I'm not about this like nonsense. She's like, it's a dunk. I'm like, that's great, but the Kobe thing is a shot, not a dunk. You don't miss dunks. Yeah, you gotta have that form. Sia's got the form. She knows exactly.
Let me see the form.
Oh, you play ball?
Let me see the form.
Sia's got game apparently.
Sia, let me see the form. See the form. Okay, yeah. She's got that little
point guard. What position did you play? Shooting guard. Yeah. Okay.
Shooter.
She's a 2.
Neil, not shooting guard, shooter.
We call it different back home, right?
Oh, where's back home? I don't know. Where did you grow up? India. Oh, in India. Okay, Mumbai.
So what do they call it in India instead of shooting guard? Or just a shooter? Okay.
Yeah, there's different. There's a shooter, a blocker. Okay. A rebounder.
Okay, that's great.
It is. I mean, you have a dribbler.
We call it one.
I mean, the point guard would be the
point guard, shooting guard.
The point guard would be the dribbler. I thought that was. Well, no, don't apologize to me. The word that you use is incorrect. I mean, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with. She said that's racist to call it that.
I mean, the shooter means something else.
Is it?
No, but if like shooting guard, you say a shooter. That's. I mean, to most people who play ball in North America, you say the shooter, and they're gonna think something else. That's all I'm saying. The shooting guard,
okay.
And everyone knows exactly what you're talking about. We all know who the best. We all know who the best shooting guard is of all time. 23.
Yeah. I mean, I guess because LeBron's, is a small forward.
Yeah, he's a 3 or a 4.
Yeah.
He could.
Or power forward. Yeah, I guess.
He could be a 4 as well.
Yeah, I guess he could be a 4.
You could even call him a point guard sometimes.
I wonder where he spent most of his time. I mean, Dwayne Wade was a pretty good 2 guard. Obviously, Kobe with a 2 guard as well, right?
He's number 2 all time. That's a 2 guard. So I think that's pretty uncommon.
We can go back and forth about basketball. Okay, so we covered a little bit there at the high side of 207.50. So that would be obviously a good look there as we broke through the 200 period. I'm not going to reload this, man. We have that infamous 10% left here on Amazon. So we're just kind of holding out, waiting to see where AMZN goes from here. Let's check back on that Netflix story because we did have it there that they are, I mean, I could try to find that story right now for everybody. There it is right here. Wall Street Journal. Let me send this out and just have a quick look together on this. So it's up right now. Reports the U.S. Justice Department is investigating in merger probe whether Netflix has engaged in any anti-competitive tactics. I don't know. We've seen this anti-competitiveness be talked about many times, and I don't know if Netflix would qualify or not, but that's not really my realm. I just think that all they're trying to do is get more content, and I think that, if Netflix is not allowed to buy them, then why would Paramount? I think it would kind of be the same type of thing. So I think you really have to look at what exactly we're fighting and what we're not fighting with the DOJ, and so that would be a very, very interesting talk to see where that winds up going for Netflix. But I mean, forget about this. This is this pre-split. But since we split down at around, I think it was 114 or so, and now you're just down to $81. Regardless, obviously weighing on this stock is the pressures of the Warner Brother deal. Will it get done? Are they wind up paying too much for it? When cash is king right now, do they want to pay that $27.75 cash, bringing that back into $80 now? So I feel like the fact that the deal's officially done, I mean, it could still get squashed, I guess. So the premium's already in the stock. So if that ever gets firmed up, and I think there's more positive talk about a closing date or some lack of pressure, politically and from outside sources. I do think Netflix does go back up to the upside if it gets settled down, but that's sort of what I'm thinking right now for myself personally about Netflix. I don't know if I want to average into it. We last bought this thing, I think it was 86 or so on the way down, and I just think it's worth now waiting to see what winds up happening with Netflix, because we're stuck at obviously not the greatest price here. And Netflix has been sort of a staple of the account, but they've had crazy moves in Netflix, and I don't think it goes back to, like, it's not really a huge growth story name, but
anymore.
I feel like, you know, the thing about that Gemini number, and going back to CEO just mentioning India, Gemini has a bunch of free trials out right now, so I think that that's influencing that 750 user base million that they had.
Well, it's still.
I wonder about the same about Netflix. I just wonder,
it's still
you know, their global expansion. But.
Well, the other thing too is this deal is actually not even supposed to close. Like most of the dates I've seen floated around on like merge our boards are like somewhere in the first quarter to mid 2027. So if we're talking about something that's not supposed to close for a year, and you're supposed to get $27.75, and it is going to be if it's Netflix or nobody, then this thing is overpriced. But it is what it is. I just warn anybody that thinks that it's a weird one, because I wouldn't buy this down here.
We have an update. We have an update from Eddie the dealer.
Eddie the dealer?
So put that last super chat on.
I see it.
Yeah. So he is, who's over there?
Hang on, I'll get it.
It's okay. Yeah, we'll put it up.
I got it.
Yeah. So
change the name here and
an IG.
And an IG.
Wants to make sure that no one thinks he's an actual dealer. So he's now high trader. All right.
I know how that goes.
All right. Yeah. So there it goes. Yeah. You don't want the smoke.
There was a full year at the Rev where for an entire, at least a full semester, the Rev is a club in Waterloo where we both went to university, the same town. Anytime I would go there on a Friday, I would have a half a dozen people coming up to me asking for ish. And I'm like what? Where are you even getting this from? Because first of all, I wasn't a drug dealer and looked like one. And no one ever thought, I guess nobody that knew me would actually have thought that. But it was constantly.
They must have seen you selling it to me, that's why.
And then I finally figured it out when there was a bouncer who was at a class with a bouncer, and I was talking to him. He's like, "You look exactly like this dude."
Oh, another dealer.
Right. And so there was an actual dude in the town who was there a lot of the time, and who was an actual drug dealer. So thankfully, I never got arrested or anything like that. But so they say we don't all look alike, but apparently sometimes.
Wow, dark club, obviously.
It's hilarious.
BBAI up 17%.
SMR is up 20%.
Yeah, so, and this is why I kind of refuse to look at, I mean, we talked about the growth story of these stocks, right? We've seen Palantir get hit. We saw BigBear.ai get hit. And this is not to celebrate, man. I mean, you're still, like, I'm long at 420, and I did not buy on this most recent dip down. You know, once we violated sort of that, here, I'm using zoom back out so you can see, like, this was the 200 period, and it's just been so good since last year at this time. This was last April, obviously on that move down in, some would call it a quadunk, in the futures market with the tariffs. So that came back into 250, right? So once that sort of held down there, that's when we started to buy BigBear.ai, and we've already been in and out of it a couple times, and just haven't bought back in. The growth story has been a weak one for the market and some of these names. So we got to let this one settle down, and we just need to get a little bit better feels. I mean, if you go up another 20%, which I don't expect that on Monday, but if you do, then you're back over that $5 mark, and things are looking a little bit better for a name like BigBear.ai. But for right now, yeah, it's still in that downward trend. If you're a dip buyer, then today would be potentially a day to sell. But 17%, you gotten hit more than that. So let it sort of settle down. And as you had mentioned, SMR and some of those other, I mean, I'm sure like a name like a Rigetti or some of these other names that have really gotten beat up over the last, Rigetti up literally the same as BBAI, and I just picked that name out of the blue. So
they're all the same thing.
That's what I was going to say.
QBTS is up 20%.
Yeah, insert
SMR,
growth name here.
20%. Like they're all basically getting the same.
Let me guess, Robinhood
rally.
is probably up
Hood's
20%.
probably probably like 10.
Yeah, 13. But I think at one point it was up to $84. Like,
SoFi probably better be up 10%.
15, 16%. SoFi I don't think is up as much. No. 7%. Yeah, what the hell's going on with SoFi right now? Nice little drop down right here for SoFi. Oh, it's at VWAP. Okay, that's not horrible. We did
That's
get
a fail.
Yeah, we did get some more out here. I'm not going to let this go below where I'm in. Okay, you know what? I kind of like this name off of VWAP here, Amazon. So I'm going to take that back. I'm going to let Amazon figure itself out here at 205. My stop was always a break of this 205 area. So let's put a bid down at like 205.25. If we fall in there, we'll take a couple more shares, but nothing else until then. I have less than 5% left of this position. So most of the clear outs, and I know I take too many outs, but at the end of the day, it's all about share sizing. And you know, when we get into this 200 period, I just start taking it out. Like these are responsible outs to me. It's not like they're not calculated. They're just out here. These ones, we started to dip down. We had that aggressive move. So we took some out at the 50 period. Then we get right back into the 200 period again. Then we get right back into this area and we take some out. So, you know, sometimes I can get criticized myself or whatever for having too many outs. But I think here, this is probably right, and now let's just wait to see if we're able to get reloaded, even lower than where we're long. And if we can do that, then I feel pretty good about Amazon long in and around that 205. So let's not put any more on until it gets into that level right now. I think Amazon, just like I wish, I did not get filled in my long-term account today more. I did put a bid around that 198 level. I talked about that earlier today. For myself, specifically speaking here, I think Amazon on a move down of 8%. I like to put some more shares into my portfolio. So I do currently own Amazon as well as Google. And I own Google. And this will be another name that, you know, given the right situation, and that would be like a little bit more of a tank, I would think that into this 280 area for Google would be for myself, again, another opportunity to put that into my, you know, the sort of retirement account there for Google for myself. So I like that area down there at 280. And I think what Joe is saying, and I know he's sort of just tongue-in-cheek to like an ETF, but they do have their hands in a lot of businesses. So Google, to me, it's hard sometimes to wrap my head around why Amazon would be so amazing, because I do know that they have AWS, but there's so many other cloud providers out there. But I do also like the retail side of it, and I know that's not a huge push as far as profitability is concerned, but I do like Amazon for some of those reasons, and I know that they're working on spaceships, or not spaceships.
Yeah, it's a tough one because
Origin.
I like Amazon, but like I ask myself, well, if Walmart is a key holding, then so if you Walmart's one of my larger non-tech holdings is what I'm looking for. And then if I have a lot of Alphabet, it's like, what am I differentiating by owning Amazon if you could literally just own Google and Walmart and have basically everything in there? Like you got streaming, you're gonna have the cloud, you get the retail on Walmart side, groceries, like all of that stuff. So it's weird, but I don't mind Amazon. I have recently bought it, but I've kind of just thought, and that's what you have to do when you're looking at, or what I do when I'm looking at my portfolio is ask where I'm overcommitted. That was why on the way up whatever. It ends up being an idiotic decision at the time, and seemingly hopefully better to have sold AMD, because I was just asking myself, why do I need to be exposed to AMD and Nvidia, and I still own some Intel? Like, what's the point? So if I'm gonna sell something, like maybe sell that one. It looks good now. It felt like a terrible decision when we were at $250. And I was like, oh, what am I doing? Blah, 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 blah. But now I feel a little bit better about it. But that being said, I am looking at this. After that Netflix news, I was looking for a chance, because I still kind of feel like this is a bit of a fade. But Warner Brothers just bounced off VWAP, which is making it difficult. Like, it's at a support level. It's hard to want to short it when it's holding a support level on the way back after the news. So if I do see it lose VWAP, I'm just going to look for a punch short to try to grab this little like gap fill. Let's call it the gap fill on the news. So that'll be the idea there. And for those that are asking, like what do we think about like this stock? Is this stock bouncing or not? There's something about the 3-day rule when it comes to earnings. But the way I like to look at a stock after they report is it's not just give it a couple of days. I want to see like proof that there are buyers, which means hold a higher low. So there's a higher, like there's the bottom, hold that higher low, but there's no proof that that's any good till I think Monday when we confirm it. And if that's about to, it's like a 197, you could call it the 200 level, just give it that $5 area. If that's holding on Monday, then I think it's even better. And then it looks like a bit of a bottom. I'm not really down with you make one low, close above it one time, and then all of a sudden you've just got to be good. Unless you start filling in the gap, that's a different story. But while we're down here, I need more proof for another day. So I know I'm sitting in two reversions, one which already went, so that's fine, and it's literally the one that'll carry the day for me. But I sat in this one for a while, and it didn't work. I feel like the long reversion on this is always better. So like this, by the way, like this is an example of, usually when these are going sideways, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to tell you. If I'm just sitting in range-bound trading these puppies, it's just a buyout. But when they actually start moving, then it's a different trade. It just turns into a regular momentum trade. And so the last couple of days after EA reported, it turned into a potential momentum trade. So I'll trade it like a momentum stock while it's doing momentum-like things. So was it yesterday? I think it was 2 days ago. It had a great reversion off the bottom. I was playing for this reversion here, but it just took out the prior bar high. And it actually took an hour and a half to do it, which is ridiculous. But you sit in it while it's still kind of working. And let's see what we have to talk about next.
We have to talk about savvy Canadian traders who are looking to boost their exposure can now tap into the Nasdaq 100 and the S&P 500 with Beta Pro 3x daily levered ETFs. This is featuring built-in FX hedging. This aims to amplify short-term market moves while minimizing the impact of currency swings. Whether you're feeling bullish or bearish, these ETFs are built for active day traders ready to take on the market. Read the full risk disclosure in the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. So yeah, just like, you know, triple lever names, things like that. Just make sure you watch out for the decay. Read the prospectus there to find out more and more.
From David Tresiak, you know it's Friday when?
Yeah, let's go.
Neil, do people cheer when watching curling? So here's what I would say. Absolutely, in my experience, oh, you better believe they do. Like 100%, 100p. Like the whole idea, it's one of those like, you grab a beer, because most of the rings still have like a bar overhead.
I mean, it's only about the social aspect.
That's literally like
I coach curling.
I've gone to I went to my local curling. Some neighbors of mine, they go to they have a curling club and they go there and they have a beer and pizza night. So I was just at one and curled for the first time in my life. First, all I will say is this: like when you've been doing, it's harder than you think.
Way harder.
It's much harder than you think. And it's the beer after is just great because like you're sore and you're kind of cold and you just want like the beer and pizza was fantastic. People go nuts, man. Like I hit like one semi-good shot and I was just like, I don't know, is this good? And they're like, yeah, look, that was a great shot. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't even sure, but like if you said it's great, then I start cheering. But you just don't want to get too exuberant because then you'll fall on your ass.
Yeah.
Because I'm not very good on the ice. So I was very careful with how much I was celebrating.
You weren't even wearing a helmet, were you?
No.
No, yeah.
Which
they only have kids do it, but I was just suggesting it like you could easily.
No,
it's
if you fall, because there was one time when I was sweeping.
Well, because you have the slider on.
Yeah, but I was sweeping and I was getting, I was really into it.
Yeah.
And then there was a rock there, which I actually did catch, but I was turning my head to
I already see you're already not. The bottom hand has to be over, not under. If it's over, it's easier, anyways.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
right. I'm not a professional.
But that was a while ago. You went.
It was like a month ago or so.
Yeah. The curling we're talking about, my guy Fabian over there. Not a popular sport in Chile, I don't think. Curling there. I'm excited. I'm excited for the snowboarding. I'm excited for the hockey, obviously, our women's hockey. The whole Finland team, they only had 8 players. There's a norovirus, whatever the flu, whatever the fancy name for that is, running through. Did you know that the NHL rented out? So all the NHL players, they have rooms in the Olympic Village. And then the NHLPA also rented out like 100 or something rooms in a hotel just in case the players didn't want to stay there. So I'm imagining in Milan right now that it's pretty hard times getting hotel rooms, needless to say, let alone the NHLPA renting all these rooms for all those players in case they didn't want to stay there.
The Olympic Village, I went to university with a couple of people who went to the Olympics. And so when you hear the stories, the whole idea is that you want to stay in the Olympic Village, from what I've heard. But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these NHL players obviously
they probably do just fine without it.
Well, not just that. I mean, a lot of the ones that have made the Olympics there, they do have, relationships.
They're grown. They're like full adults and all that stuff. But if you're young, it's a totally different story.
Yeah, Milan is chaos right now. I could only imagine.
Oh man, it would be nice.
How nuts.
Leanne, Doctor. I can't. How am I saying this? Leandra. Oh, Leandra Devaldez. sometimes when you're reading the whole thing, it gets messed up. Wants us to have a look at Occidental. And you've asked a few times, so we don't mind. Look, first of all, we do know a lot of the energy names. Here, I'm going to start this way when looking at energy. I'm going to start with the XLE because I think the context is pretty important here. Oh, no, XL, what am I looking at? Ugh. Why is this nonsensical? We'll go to the 15. Like, if you look at the strength that we've been sitting in, it's incredibly strong. If I look at, and then if I go down the line and understand that not all these companies are the same, and I look at the strength in, say, a CVX or an XOM, one thing you have going on with Oxy is it's lagging, and that's been true for a while, and it hasn't truly broken the downward trend when everything else has gotten out of the penalty box and is breaking out. And we talked about this with Michael Noss this morning. He was actually even talking about the breakout in energy. And so I think what you're hoping for would be that there's a catch-up trade here for Oxy, but it's been a problem for a while relative to any cohorts that it would have. But there's a chance. Like when you're above the 50 and the 200, I usually would say that's looking like it's something it's trying to turn, but it failed the last time it did this, while most of the other names have just looked better. You know, and I used to own, I was actually one of the, when there was the Buffett floor on Oxy, and this goes back further than just my chart is showing, where he was always buying it in the mid-50s, and I would dip buy this in the mid-50s, and you'd scalp out anytime there was a bump, and you'd collect a dividend along the way, and then that just died when he stopped buying it, or when Berkshire stopped buying it, and now I don't know what's going to get it going. But I just think there's a bunch of other stronger charts relatively in the space compared to Oxy. Is just my thoughts in particular on this one. And again, we talked about energy this morning, and I do like this. I do like the space on the chart for a breakout. It's just that this one is not like the others, at least at the moment.
We had an opportunity to reload Amazon there. We didn't do. Wow. Okay. What was I at, anyways? Oh my God, I didn't realize it went this low. I was at 205.25 there on Amazon, and while we were talking, it went to 205. Oh wow, 205.33. Come on, we should almost have another dollar on this, but hey man, ifs and buts. But we were just moments away from getting that fill, man. Just one more accidental push down, we would have had that long there off VWAP. So I think that, you know, even though Amazon's down 7% today, you know, the trend has been higher. We obviously broke that trend right here when we came back in, but then we just fell into the lap. So that's the kind of trading that like I'm looking to do. Even on Roblox there today, you know, we talked about this earlier. I'd written down 64 as a level that I liked on the sticky note. Obviously, we also explained that that was not going to be a level that I was going to take very first thing, because we know that Roblox can get violent. I'm actually kind of glad I didn't notice it right here, because this could have been a spot where I was like, maybe it's spacing, let's try the long and then use this as my stop. So we could have got, you know, hit a little bit more, but then it was brought to my attention here that Roblox was getting downside, or I was looking at it, I can't remember, and we saw a good base. Now, I should have used that wick as my out, but unfortunately, you know, we started buying it right there at 61.50, then we bought some more at 61 flat, and then when it broke back down below 60.75, that's essentially where we got out. So we almost made the low of the day on Roblox there, and I would always do this. So this is not like, for me, there's some trades where you sit in them and you wonder what you like, why, but this one was an easy one. I wasn't willing to let this one go, because you know, then I lose all my Amazon profits and everything. I could have given it that little wick there, so maybe next time, especially on an earnings name, maybe we could play those wicks. But see, it didn't come with any volume, so I was just like, just why lose another 50 cents? So we didn't do that, and we got out. And unfortunately, I tried to punch back in, but the move was violent to the upside, so it did not give me that opportunity to get back in. So unfortunately, Roblox is not going to be the stock that I was hoping it would be today. But we did have that bid, and we had just missed it. So that's that. There's some talk here about JP Morgan, and you know, this has been a staple sort of my account for a minute. We didn't buy any on that most recent dip down, but wow, what a stock this name has been here today. There's this gap up right to start the day. Like, I'm not even sure why that happened, but there goes, where's Adara? She's back there. Hi, how's it going, by the way?
I'm really like tired all of a sudden. I feel like the salmon did not fill me. I feel like a weak dying trout. How are you, Sean?
A week dying trout. At least, I mean, it's better than.
Like, I'm happy. I don't want to.
Oh no, because we had Sam and then you went to trout. So I mean, that's okay. I don't want to bother you. I don't want to bother you,
Oh,
but
you're
I
not
just
bothering me. You said something.
JP Morgan. I just wanted to see because this was a pretty violent move on JP
Give
Morgan.
me a second here.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
do it live for y'all.
Oh, doing it live.
We can do it live.
Doing it live.
Okay.
JPM doing
Yeah.
news.
Well, this almost feels like an upgrade maybe because it went from 313 immediately.
Oh, I know why. It's actually not an upgrade. So at 8:20 a.m., Bloomberg reports that JPM and Goldman bankers see bonus pools rise at least 10%. So bonuses for their workers, that's all it is. Again, that was pre-market. I will check social media and get back to you all, but for now I will disappear.
All right, I mean, and it might be not specific to JPM. So I just noticed that was just a huge move right off the jump there. Let's check out WFC, some other names. I'm assuming all the bank names kind of shot. Yeah, so this kind of shot up as well.
BAC, same thing.
Yeah, JP Morgan was more of a direct shot. Oh yeah, and there goes Citigroup. So yeah, it's going to be industry specific there, probably not stock specific. So yeah, nice move.
It might be the story I mentioned then, just like with the bonuses rising or whatever.
Yeah. Speaking about someone that deserves a bonus, how about Adara getting that at some point? Okay, so we'll get out some more rate. Oops, I guess I didn't get filled. I put an offer rate here at the 50 period and did not get filled and thought I did. So let me get back over there to Amazon. Let's just take a fill. Okay, there it is. We'll take a 60 fill. So we'll offer 60s, take it. It goes basically from VWAP right back. It's already 311. From VWAP right back in, hits VWAP, out at the 50 period moving average. Amazon right now, $1 off VWAP, trying to see where we go from here on that one. So thank you, Master, there. Sometimes I can be funny and sometimes not. But there it goes, upside for Amazon. Kraft Heinz.
I like
John
that. Baker, how about KHC for a catch-up trade? Everyone's in a bottom-picking mood. See, but you know what's interesting is, well, the things that are making the good run today are the ones that had the snap bottom that are risk type of assets, right? Like, I think that's where we're looking for the turnaround. Or the example we were just talking about with Oxy, where the entire space is breaking out and it's trying to go as well. So what would be the catalyst for Kraft Heinz to break this trend? And that's a legitimate question, because I actually don't know. So my answer is, I don't know. Has it been over the 50 before? Yeah, like once, like a bunch of times. It's been over the 50 period. Has it been over the 200? Not since last year. Check that. Not since 2024. So it's been well over a year since it's been over the 200 period moving average. Yeah, I don't know what gets this going. Sometimes sometimes there are companies that are good going concerns, and there's probably a value play to be had, but then there's something called a value trap as well. So I really don't know what gets Kraft Heinz going. And sometimes you have an opinion, sometimes something looks interesting, and other times I'm just staying away from it because I don't know what I would do with this thing, even if I had it. And unfortunately, you can see the trend speaks for itself on KHC, for sure. Outlawed trader Warren Buffett to come back and save them.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
No, but that was the whole, but then they had the whole, didn't he somewhat engineer part of the reason why they had troubles in the first place?
Oh, I don't know the whole story with that.
I
mean, I know that there's obviously.
And plus, he's out now anyway. So like any influence that Buffett would have had, I guess he's still chairman of the board, but I don't know. It's Abel's game now, and I would think he gets to decide what they're doing with most of the money. So I'm not even sure you have that Berkshire Hathaway potential anymore. Or you don't want to rest on that. And I don't think you want to rest on, I think these guys will buy them, therefore they will go up, so I'm going to buy too.
That's
I don't know if I want to hope for that. Like, it was one thing it was okay on Oxy because it was like quarter after quarter what was happening when this was at 56. But quarter after quarter, you just see them filing that they were buying more. And it would always be in the 50s. So like, you knew for a good solid couple of years they were buying the stock at that price, and it was putting a floor on the stock. So therefore, anybody who was joining with, you were just making money, and it was actually working. But in this case, if I saw Berkshire buying, that would be maybe interesting to me. But that's about it.
Okay, another out on Amazon as we watch out. So if there's any stocks you guys want us to talk about, obviously Neil and I are here to help you out with those. So put your stocks in the chat if there's anything you want to talk about. It's going to be a good Super Bowl, I think. I'm not really leaning. I think Seattle will wind up winning the Super Bowl, but the spread is 4.5. I think they can keep it close. I think that.
I think they keep it close.
I think Vrabel's a decent coach, obviously, and New England's defense I think is a little underrated, but I do know Seattle has a great defense.
Very good defense.
And I just don't know. Like, I think if they can isolate Kenneth Walker a little bit, shut down that run game. There's a DB that New England has that has a couple picks. I think they'll be looking to do that. Sam Darnold is on record saying he sees ghosts. So I think there could be some kind of a pressure spot.
Drake May takes too many sacks.
Was that?
Drake May takes too many sacks.
I
mean,
mean,
he's apt to. He always wants to scramble. I'm just concerned they're not going to be able to protect him. He'll be under so much heat.
I think it's going to be a game of turnover. Like, if there's a big turnover, that could. I mean, the spread's only 4.5, right? So
yeah, I kind of like Seattle to get the ball out of May's hands at some point in the game.
Yeah.
I'm talking
That's what I'm saying. There could be a pick
without
six.
a pick. I'm thinking.
Yeah. It's fumble sack.
I'm thinking you're going to force like a sack fumble is the way I would go for a May turnover.
Can we put that? Oh yes, Amazon. Let's go. Amazon just lifted $1 upside right there. Amazon giving us the good feels right now in this market. So there goes Amazon. Look at that, guys. VWAP, and we missed it by 8 cents, but VWAP right there, back to the upside, right back up. So again, like, I get criticized for taking too many outs sometimes, but these ones, 50 period, halfway, 200 period.
Awesome.
That's exactly as we want it to be labeled out there. So, hey, why don't we get a chat going? Why don't we just put New England or Seattle so we can see what our chat is thinking here. It's Super Bowl Sunday at 6:15 p.m.
Like 70%.
I'm going to see if we have an opportunity for the wife to make some chili. And I'm going to be in charge of the wings. All right, but we'll do some chili there. The kids loving nachos, so I think we can do some nacho action there.
Aaron's about chicken.
Chicken wings, maybe some nachos. My wife makes chili with pumpkin puree. So the pumpkin puree is sort of the secret sauce into there. That's a nice opportunity. So if you guys want to try that, go look up some recipes for chili this weekend. And especially around here, it's snowing right now in Toronto. Maybe it stopped, but it was snowing this morning. And I was walking around a little bit outside there, and it was not the greatest weather, but I think
not too bad.
We're supposed to get to minus a lot this weekend, right here. So I'm just going to go, just because this is just straight who will win, I'm going to go Seahawks, but I do think that they're...
Oh, I could have put...
And I know... No, don't put the spread. It's better just this way.
Okay.
Seahawks or Pats. I think it's going to be a little closer than maybe the odds say. Right now, it's about 3-1 money line on
it's going to be 70% Seahawks.
Seattle. Yeah, so if it is 70%, that would match with Vegas.
Well, that's what I'm like. Vegas is undefeated. That's the whole thing.
They're gonna screw
like. Oh, trust me, like our viewers aren't going to be different by that much. I would think because we're probably a good representation of the demographic. Of course, it's exactly.
I also want to know, like, how many people. There's a lot of people that don't even watch the Super Bowl, and I know this year it's going to be. I know President Trump's not going to watch it. We've heard those reasons why he doesn't support Bad Bunny.
Oh, he's holding a watch party tomorrow.
Oh,
yeah, I know he's holding a watch party, but you know who's the halftime? You know who the halftime performer is at the Mar-a-Lago feed that they're going to be watching?
Kid Rock.
Yes, you're right, Kid Rock. So Kid Rock or Bad Bunny? For me, it would be Kid Rock because I don't know one Bad Bunny song. But
that'd be nuts.
I'm just saying he will not be there. So
I just like it when it's legends. I want someone that's legendary for.
Well, I mean, Bad Bunny. I think in the Spanish. Yeah, I think he's pretty hot fire, isn't he, Adara? Like Bad Bunny has a huge following.
No, he's good. I mean, I understand some Spanish. I definitely don't speak much, but like he has good music. The reason I actually chimed in though was because apparently people in Polymarket are betting on what song he's going to do first. Or rather, what song he won't do first.
Yeah,
and what's crazy is apparently someone has put a huge bet on this, and they mostly trade like Polymarket apparently for military strikes, and they're very good at that. So people are like, is this dude gonna win money? Either way, it's wild that Polymarket now has us betting on like what won't happen. It's kind of interesting.
Oh, no, yeah. I remember even last year, like, it was like, will Kendrick Lamar do this song? And which song will he do first? And, you know, will he look in the camera? And
How many times did he play Not Like Us?
yeah, exactly. Like, how many times will that happen? And, you know, will he come out in women's jeans? Yeah, stuff like that. So Bad Bunny apparently ready to go, and that should be a lot of fun. So get ready for that. The Super Bowl party is now on. I had to refuse my invitation to Mar-a-Lago, right? I mean, planes and everything.
Yeah,
okay, the Pats better hope they win. Hey, Brendan, we see Brendan in the view there. Hey, Brendan, how's it going? I really like that blue sweater that Brendan's got right there.
It's like a North Carolina.
Okay, Pat's, because if they come back to Foxborough in tears, they ain't going to find no, oh, this guy again.
Oh, wait a minute.
The paper towel guy.
You guys keep changing your name in the chat.
Frederick
It's hard to keep up.
Frederick
with
Von
regular
Yummy
viewers.
Pants?
You just
What is
keep
going on
changing
here?
your name. Frederick Von Yummy Pants. I don't want to know. Don't explain that name because I don't think we want to know. But look, we appreciate the super chat for sure, and we know you're in the paper towel market and the cheese dispensary business, which I think is a fantastic idea. So good luck with that. Mac is also saying go Hawks, but also if we throw this one up, I'll just do it myself. We've got also NNE, which I'm going to make a bold prediction. NNE is up 20%. Let's just check it out. Only 12. Okay, see, that's not good because everyone else is up 20 today, not 11 or 12. So unfortunately, this might be the only nuclear name or runner that is not up 20%. I agree with you on the Go Hawks. I'm a Big Ten guy and a Michigan State fan, so Kenneth Walker is like my favorite running back in the league right now for obvious reasons because he was at Michigan State. But NNE, that's not, why is it not as strong as some of the other ones? That's what I would like to know. Because SMR is having a much better day. How was Oklo or Oklo doing? Yeah, Oklo's having, no, this is 15%. So NNE, it's good, but this is the kind of day where you want to ask yourself, what's the relative strength? Like if everything in a space is up, well, what's the one that's lagging? Because SMR is crushing it. Oklo is doing a little bit better, and NNE's just kind of down here, hasn't broken past 30. Like in context, this is, you know what, in fairness, SMR is up more because it went down more. So it's not even that much better. Because that would be, it's Wednesday, so the Wednesday high, that's the way to look at it. It's at the Wednesday's open at that top, and then NNE is also at Wednesday's open. So you know what, in this particular case, 12% is the same as 20% because they both recovered that move back into Wednesday morning. So yeah, it's just, I think when you have that kind of uniform bounce, you almost can't read too much into it because everything made the same bounce. And we're right back to Wednesday levels. I want to know about the names that are breaking out above here or the ones that haven't broken back. Like the ones that are doing the same as everything else, you tend not to get too much information out of them.
Yeah, we just lost the board again. We apologize for that. The trade board is getting worked on at the bottom. I still am in Amazon, but I'm waiting for 210 or bust now. So forget it. We're just going to wait for that. We've gotten out of enough of these shares, so we're just going to wait for 210 now. Hopefully we'll have one more out, and that's that. I put my order literally at 210. So, you know, if it gets back up to this area, fine. You know, if it's already 323, so we do have those imbalances. I'm not sure there's going to be anything there at all from the imbalances tonight. We can look to see if there is.
It is today than it was expected.
I was going to say it's Friday in a pretty volatile week. You know, we didn't look at today much this afternoon anyways, and I'm not sure about the midday, but silver. I know Joe's trading that as well as you were trading some today, I think. And, you know, just looking here on the 1 minute chart for SLV today, obviously looks like it was pretty choppy there off the open. We had a nice move down in so the first 10 minutes or so gave us that dip buy opportunity into the 200 and into VWAP, and then we kind of held VWAP again right there. And this is what I'm trying to learn about these different names, right? I mean, just because you look at VWAP and you use it on Roblox or gold, insert name, it doesn't matter. You really got to study, you know, if different, especially something like a silver or like the futures or something, an ETF-based type thing. Will it even hold VWAP? Does it matter? And, you know, for silver today, held. And you got to give it a little bit of room because if you're a VWAP trader there and it's 68.50, it does go down and almost threatens to break 68. So there's little things like that I feel like I have to get better at, is making sure that, you know, we hold the line on certain things and not on others, right? So a good example of that was Roblox. You're always going to have these little downticks like that. So definitely protect your neck with stop orders, but sometimes you will suffer the fate of this, where, you know, you do have a stop order in and it gets triggered and then this happens. So sometimes you just got to chalk it up to those trading gods and say, you got me on that one, and we did get stopped out there. But I think silver was a pretty good example where you could give it a little bit of room there, but not much happening here. Up 5% on that one.
It was the smallest move today.
IBIT.
It had the least volatility. in silver, which makes sense.
It was pretty sideways here in the afternoon.
Like it's the first, it was the first day that like taking that first opportunity for the mean revert didn't work. And then I set this one up for like the all day trend reverse and it never did. Like every other day, there's been some kind of a, hey, little tight mean reversion, boom, big breakout. And it wasn't there. So you didn't have a ton of weakness. ZSL is an inverse, by the way. So silver going down is this going up. But took the one shot and it just wasn't there today. Every other day it's been good. Just one note, because we were talking about the imbalances. Sienna's already 3.7 million to buy. And then the other name with the big expected move is ADT. And that's actually expected to be bigger. Maybe not notionally. The value of Sienna is much bigger. But ADT is supposed to be 70 million shares. A lot. It's already 15 million paired at 326. So ADT is going to be a very large imbalance, but it's like an $8 stock. So just know that if you trade this on the imbalance and it moves 10, 15 cents, that's actually a pretty decent move. But this is the other one, and they're both big buy imbalances already. BMNR is a small sell of 1.3 million. FXI is a buy of 1 million shares. JP Morgan and BAC just under 1 million to the south side. But these are the two to keep an eye on, Sienna and ADT, as they're both over a couple million to the buy side.
Okay, good look there on those two names. We're going to just sort of continue, looking at some of these bigger names, like an IBIT there today, up 10%. I mean, that's crypto. It's going pretty good here as well with that crypto look. So another play that potentially, get some long. We don't have that much time left, so I'm like struggling to think about actually getting into position, which is why we're just looking at the names that we're looking at right now and trying to give you guys a little bit of an idea what could potentially come of next week or things like that. But Robinhood I think is on its way back upside here, especially with crypto. And we talked about maybe playing MSTR, and I said this yesterday. I think it was 106 or so, and it was about this time when we were like, hey guys, like, really have a look over here and see what's going on with MSTR, because if you did think that there was going to be a crypto rebound, this was probably the right play just for like a swing trade, for the fact that it is way more obviously aggressive, almost like a levered ETF against BTCs. So if you did think that there was a rebound, obviously there's some safety in playing Bitcoin as opposed to MSTR, but this could have been one of those plays that we look at. So that was a good look there for MicroStrategy, or strategy, sorry, on the day, up 24%. Let's see if it holds on Monday. And again, if you think this is a fugazi move, this is not a horrible time to think about shorting again, potentially back in, right? So that's kind of the talk that I want to do here heading into the close, looking for good names at the right opportunities. So right now, MSTR, nice upside swing. It's really held this 200 period moving average. So with only 20 minutes left until imbalances, there could be something to be said about an MSTR dip buy into 132. So something to look at right there. But yeah, it's been nasty on the way down, that's for sure. But that means it should be better on the way up, if there is a way up.
The biggest bounces are always in bear markets.
Well, yeah, look SMR, Big Bear AI. Like, some of these names are up 20% today.
Think about it. It's always simple math. The further something goes down, then it does, right? Like, think of it, the simple math is this. If something goes from $10 to $1, I'll just use the Beyond Meat type of example. Right? Like, it drops like 80, 90%. That's as extreme as it's going to get. It only has to go back $1 for a double up because of how far it's fallen. So, like, that's the appeal of why people always want to catch a bottom on something. Because the whole idea is that you don't have to bounce as much. But it's a double-edged sword, because oftentimes, at least people being in things that aren't very good, like DVLT, which is up 31%, and challenging. I told Sharif this morning, I was like, I know this one's not $1. I know it's not $1, but it has something going on with it. Because I used to trade penny stocks when I first started. And a lot of times when you'd get this accumulation over the 50-cent mark, the play was that it would try to get to $1, which that's where they always try to go. And this one was going in the pre-market. I'm like, well, if it just kind of gets over this hump, like, you got this gap and then you got this gap, but everyone has to have their rules. Like, you don't like trading things that are sub-penny, then it's not for you. But if there's a non-zero chance it could get close enough to $1 for a fade in the last 20 minutes, but it's pretty slim. I think this is a wait till Monday type of situation, because the last time it got to $1, is about as perfect as you could get for a fail break. Like it broke $1, went to 102, and then by the time it got closer to the open, it was already falling through the 90s. So it was just continuation short the whole way through. And that's what we mean about a stock being a habitual. We joke around and say habitual line stepper, but what we're really getting at is it has a history of pump and dump. And since this has been on the backside, any big parabolic move, well, that's one day and then a lot of dumping. In this, it did have this for 2 or 3 days in a row. So it is possible. Like it's done it before where it goes more than a couple of days in a row. But that $1 level looks like a brick wall to me. Might see that one on Monday. We'll see. Now I'm probably jinxing it and it's not going to get there. And
we just went to 208.50 there. I'm going to put something up in the chat in a second. We just went to 208.50 there on Amazon. I would say if you do have a few shares and you are looking to exit your position before close, this is the 50-period moving average. This is the 25-period moving average. I could see this being an out if you are managing risk. So, watch out for that 207.50 possible break on that. This is what I actually wanted to show everybody. I'm going to send this selected. This is actually interesting. So last year, Hims had a Super Bowl commercial. All right, and then I didn't vet this, but I'm assuming Frank did. Yeah. And then it doubled in 19 days.
Yeah, that's right.
So let's all do a little bit of homework. It's not only your job to watch the Super Bowl, but also, have a quick look. If there's a stock on there or a name on there that maybe, gets a little bit of coverage. And, from what I heard this morning, it's $10 million as of this morning for a 30-second spot. I think if you know somebody.
Look out for ours then, by the way.
Yeah, I think if you know somebody, you have the connections like Joe has or something like that, you can get it for like $7 million or so. But right now, it's going to be an expensive look. Is it on CBS? I'm not sure. It's not Fox this year. Maybe it's CBS because I know Tom Brady's not doing it because not because it's Patriots.
It's on the Zone. That's what I know.
Yeah. It's on. Yeah.
But it'll be on Amazon.
Depending on where you're looking at it. But I was going to say that might be something right there. So I was going to say thank you for that there. But yeah, have a look and see what is going on there. Yeah, DoorDash. That's a good one. That's symbol dash, right? So that could be on there. But I think you're looking for more of a name that surprises you, like. You didn't think it would be there,
because Hims falls into that category.
Yeah, and Hims was kind of like a known thing at that time, and then all of a sudden they got the Super Bowl bump.
They're doing another one this year, according to Philip.
Oh yeah, okay. So Hims might be a look then, right? Maybe. So DoorDash is actually getting smoked right now. Like this is also breaking down.
Where is it?
So I don't know. Maybe you're gonna be flat bottom. Yeah. I mean, it's just there's one spot there. I think
it's not
like 170.
I just wanted to hit the button. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What up, Adara?
Sorry, I didn't mean to kick you off the screen there, Sean. I didn't.
Too late.
I apologize. Yeah, I mean, I'm here now. I just wanted to mention with DoorDash, I'm going to see if there's any news on this. I'm not seeing anything. But with DoorDash, just like fun fact, my friend worked there. She accidentally ended up on their corporate email chain. And they are, it's an interest. What I'll say is.
Some insider trading over here.
No, it's not insider trading. She, before I started, she already left the company. But I just want to say here with DASH, that they do a lot of trying to puff themselves up in their emails. Like they'll interpret negative stories as a positive for them. And again, she wasn't even supposed to be getting these emails, but I did see them. So not insider trading because this is years ago, but interesting stuff.
In their own internal emails, they're pumping themselves up. That's
I know what's wrong with that. I don't mind that. I mean, it's
a little try hard, but
it's
not. It's only okay if it's legit. But if you're over the top, where it's like you're just coming off as fake, and then your internals, that's a little bit much. Tolai, am I getting that right? SNDK, do you think it is a good idea to hold over the weekend? We can't tell you what to do with your position or your trade. You should have a plan for your trade, right? So if your plan is I'm in at X and I want to get out at Y, then a lot of time people are like, well, maybe you're asking because it's close to your stop or something along those lines, and you think there's extra risk over the weekend. I suppose that would be a fair thing. The volatility in this is huge. All from a technical standpoint, what we were looking at was sort of this support. And it's well within the realm of SNDK to gap through 560, I suppose, because that's only 10% away. It's got a little bit of a head and shoulders look. Volatility is pretty big here. And again, I don't know what your position is. Maybe you're long way in the money, and who knows. But I would simply say that from a technical standpoint, the only price that worries me, because I'm going to be looking at this group, whether it's Micron or SNDK, And none of them have really broken too far away from the range they've been in the last couple of days. And if that floor goes, I think they're all in a little bit of trouble. And Micron doesn't report for another couple of weeks. I think they report at the end of the month. So that's the next shoe to drop. So you have some time there till we have to worry about the earnings that will probably move it because they've already reported. But yeah, I think you just have a support level at that 560 that's holding up. And I'd be concerned if it were to break. But that's just me looking at the chart. That's all we can ever do.
Yep, exactly. There's really nothing. I mean, everybody, we appreciate all the questions about all of the names that you're looking for, and we can look at the chart and help you out as much as possible. Of course. Okay, so yeah, what goes up must come down, and we had names like SMR today, names like Rigetti that continue to climb higher. Different small cap runners. We had BBAI as well to the upside. Here's 18% back in. So if you were a buyer of SMR or anything over the last couple of days, here today we could see some sell action potentially into the close. I mean, do you want to hold your stuff over the weekend? I know there's been some geopolitical back and forth with Iran and things like that, and Ukraine, and I think there's getting to potentially be a close deal. And we see names like XLE, so watching out for oil potentially as a mover over the next little while. XLE nicely taking out new highs, new 52-week highs today for XLE. It did have a re-weighting there, not a split or anything. These ETFs do that. So this is what it looks like here on a continuous chart, and this is a daily. So you are breaking high, new 52-week highs, and I just put some more money into XLE myself. So I really do like it, and I thought that a weekly chart of this kind of tells a different story as well. We're actually breaking well away now on XLE. So I for me, get like a little bit of a feeling that this might be similar to what we saw in the commodity space as far as metals are concerned. So here's just another sort of physical asset that is trying to climb a little bit higher. We've seen breakouts in Bitcoin move like this, breakdowns in Bitcoin. So it is a double-edged sword. It goes both ways. When you break lower, you also create some of that action as well. So XLE right now, upside for now. What's up?
3 super chats. Nick Dubs, Neil, what is your read on HIMS? HIMS, my read was wrong this morning on HIMS. It was basically that I wanted short. I mean, actually, I shouldn't say that. I just shouldn't have gone back to the well because the initial, it actually did work. Like the first thing was the pop and fade, like fill the gap and then fade back into the low of the day. I just then decided, like after I got the move that I was looking for at the open, to try 2 different trades in it. So I guess I can't really say it was that bad. But also, honestly, my take on the positivity that I think is going back into this is there's a huge legal battle that has to get fought that I have no idea how it's going to play out. And then on the back end of this, Eli Lilly, when they get their oral pill out, they have the ability to come out potentially, allegedly, from what I've heard, they have the potential to come out with their oral pill as cheaper than Novo's as well, which that would also put some pressure on him. So you have a couple of things that could keep that story down for them and maybe make them not bounce from here. I get the appeal. We were just talking about why people always want to catch that bottom. It's just that I love Eli Lilly, and that other side of the Eli Lilly in the back half of the year, and then not knowing too much about how this might play out legally, it would make it hard for me to like this bottom. I find when there's a story and it's hard to interpret, like I'm not going to pretend to have any idea how this is going to play out legally. It seems to me like they're ripping off Novo, but then maybe I'm dead wrong and I don't understand it properly. It's hard to answer that one unless you're a legal expert.
Yeah. David there talking about Uber, so there could be a look there. And we had
here we go.
Oh, here goes another one. Okay. Here we go. Sean, like you, I thought MSTR will pop, so plus 5K. Money. I mean, all the credit to you, my friend. I mean, I'm just giving some ideas here, so you put the trade on. So shout out to Easy Peasy, man. Thank you for taking that advice. And here's Neil. Yesterday, you and I were thinking arm short, but only one held.
Well,
only held one arm, yeah.
I actually said this yesterday.
Funny stuff.
Actually, I just put it in the chat. Sometimes the best trade you make is the one that you don't make. Because like yesterday, literally everything was working. And sometimes you get this weird like, I don't think ARM should be up, so I'm going to short it. And I probably said it 10 times. I don't understand why ARM is going up. I don't understand why ARM is going up. And then every single time I would look for an opportunity, there was no trade to be made. It wouldn't break trend on the way up. And then here I'm like, okay, there's a real chance for it to break. And then it just kept on going. And it just wouldn't break trend, wouldn't break trend, wouldn't break trend. And then by the time it got to 3 o'clock, I had actually given up on this thing. And then it finally did the trend break to the volume weighted average price. So in theory, if I waited and took the trade at 320, but the trend break isn't probably till somewhere around here, it would have worked. But then we're always talking day trades.
Yeah.
Right? Like the other thing, like I'm a sucker twice on ARM because I was dip buying this in my personal account after earnings. And I even said, like, I like this in the 80s. It wasn't a good quarter and blah, 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 blah. I think it can get further down. That's what I was saying. And I had a stink bid at 88, 88. I like silly numbers like that. Well, guess what? Guess who didn't get filled and guess where it's at? It's at 120 bucks now. What are you going to do? I just thought it had a chance to go lower. And dog in this fight, that was the third.
Oh, here we go, another one.
I will make you a bet.
Making me a bet.
What do we got?
Perfect. Okay, I will make you a bet. If Patriots win, then you have to try FSD for 1 month for $99.
How is that a bad thing? But that doesn't make any sense.
So it's a 99. So, okay, let me tell you about FSD right now. So for me, I do want to try it. I'm nervous about signing it up here in the winter because like right now, the streets of Toronto, like you can't even tell, and you guys tell me that if any of you, obviously you guys all have, or some of you anyways, have FSD. So my fear is like that it's not, like I can't even see the lanes right now. Like it's bad for the winter, but I am ready to go. Like you don't have to bet me. Like I really do think that FSD is going to be something.
Yeah, like you're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm honestly waiting for the weather because I won't, like right now the roads aren't the greatest and I'm not even sure I'll trust FSD, but if anybody's in the Northeast, which I'm sure I could just look this up, I'm sure FSD is fine in bad weather. I just a little bit cautious, like I roll around it in my family and everything, with my family and everything like that. And I know that's kind of a cop-out, but I don't necessarily want to do it in the winter months, but you know, I'm rolling around in snows and everything. So it's like, you know, the car is ready to handle the snow. It's just, okay. Yeah, all right, so take it with a grain of salt. The guy says it works well in the winter, but he's in Florida. So, okay, yeah, we'll take that.
That doesn't tell you anything.
We'll take that with a grain of salt, but I do appreciate that, and I am. So I know there's Paul in the chat.
Here we go. No, TLY just said in the chat right here, I am in Montreal. FSD in the winter is like YOLO.
See, no, so I'm not doing that. I mean, I'm about YOLOing a little bit, but not with the car, not with driving. So I will do it. Is that what you mean by that?
I'm not saying that viewer has the definitive take on. I just thought I'd put it up there just in case you want some context. Another one here. Tom Anthony. Energy big, VLO, all-time high, hoping for a pullback. Thoughts? This morning, I think we all liked, I think Michael came on this morning and was talking about energy. And I love Chevron. And all the charts look fantastic. I think, I haven't looked at Valero, to be honest, but you said it's making an all-time high, which really doesn't surprise me. And you're waiting for a pullback. Yeah, I think when you see something that's in a very distinct upward trend, a lot of times, how clean is this? Not that clean. So, it's not the cleanest trend, even when it dipped under the trend line there. But when it's got a still thing, it's still dip and go. It's look like a stair step to the upside. When it looks like a stair step, I think your natural inclination is to wait for the next step to form, which is waiting for a pullback. That's what the pattern's been on this. The pattern on CVX is the same thing. Like CVX is what I own, and it's now gone a little bit parabolic, so it's broken away from the take the steps up. It's like in a big breakout, but yeah, you're still very, very structured in Valero there. So why not, wait for a dip? If the pattern has been saying buy the dips, then that always makes sense to me. David says Uber has commercials for the Super Bowl, so
yeah. I think did we go over this?
So much money, it's mentioned on their next earnings going long.
Yeah, well, like I said, at that price, and again, like $10
million?
Just joke. No, it was. I heard on the radio today. I was listening to Bloomberg Radio on the way in. They said that the current price was 10 sheets. So that's a little expensive.
What was that compared to last year?
I think it was 7, I think they were saying. So there is a little bit higher there. So yeah, I think that's an interesting
Really?
thing. All right, guys, here we go, man. This is a money-making opportunity right now. We are $3 in the monies right now with this trade on Amazon. And I mean, $3 in the money on Amazon is nothing that we're not used to here. We had a monster trade earlier, man. We got long $200.50. Our best out is 205. So we took 450 earlier. So you would say, 450, you can't do that again. Okay, well, we're doing it again. So there it is right now, man. 205.50 up to 209. It's 350 in the money now. If we get that 209, it's trying to get upside. So we'll see if that can print. I'm still waiting at 210. I have my offer there. If it print, I like that. If that comes in, then we will. What's up, Joe? How's my guy Joe doing over there? Joe, I know you don't have your mic, but are you Seahawks or Patriots?
I'm not watching.
Okay.
Why are you not watching? You don't watch football? Oh, he doesn't like football.
Doesn't like football. Okay, me neither. All right, so we'll see what winds up happening.
You don't have to like
here. Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of
like
a
a
spectacle,
cultural-
right? But the thing about, so the Super Bowl, I mean, I would love to go to a Super Bowl, obviously, but I think at the end of the day, the problem with the Super Bowl, from what I've heard, if you're there, is the fact that the commercials are so long. Like, you're sitting a lot. It's not like a normal football game. Yeah, so you really have to appreciate the environment because the game is relatively
I had this
slow.
conversation with a friend of mine. I would, it's much more likely, and obviously the Bills would have to make this happen. Like, I would much sooner, if the Bills hosted an AFC championship game, go to that than if they went to the Super Bowl, try to go. And I'm a lifelong Bills fan. If they went, I'd be more apt to just go to the championship game than try to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. But then again,
Super Bowl is a once in a, like, for me, it would be once in a lifetime. It's not like I like to go to every single Super Bowl.
like the Jays lost
being
in
a
Game
Packer
7,
fan,
and that was like one of the greatest experiences of my life. And they
Right.
lost. And it was a heartbreaking loss, and it was still the greatest. It was unbelievably cool. And they lost. So I get why people would want to go. But you should watch, Joe. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good game.
I don't think there's any choice to be a good game. Like, last year's was a great game last year. Last year's game was over in the first quarter, so we don't have to worry about that. And that was funny because Kansas City was actually favored, and then they got waxed.
That was not a game. Yo, this ADT is 18 million shares now. That's gotten a lot larger.
You know what? All right, let's go over to Adair for news, then we'll figure out who's making the money around here.
Yeah, I'll be brief here because I know imbalances are coming up, but we do have comments coming from Feds Daily, and they're as we get these new highs in the market today, these comments are actually pretty dovish. She's saying that, you know, she does think they can cut rates this year. She's not sure if one cut or two cuts, but she does think that rates can be cut. She also said she supported the decision to hold rates steady in January, though she did say that she thinks the case could have been made for a cut. Back to you.
All right, so we're still $9 in the money here on Amazon, so that looks like that's going to be a decent trade. Let's go find out who's making money here at Real Trading. All right, so Real Trading every day puts out the P&Ls of the top 10 traders. All right, so, and I'll just explain it one more time. These are the markets that they trade, not where they're located, nothing like that. These are the markets that are traded here at Real Trading. Unfortunately, it does, I was gonna say, unfortunately today we don't have too much difference, but there's a blue ocean, and we do know that there was some money made in blue ocean last night because of silver was moving around, Amazon was moving around, and I just wanna say, there's Canada again. So a trader that's only trading the Canadian markets has definitely figured something out, man. $18,000. Congratulations to that trader. And then just diversify your portfolio a little bit if you're a prop trader, right? I mean, we have over 60 live markets here at Real Trading. And yeah, well supported. It looks like it's all, excuse me, I just chugged some water there because someone said something about Packers, and that reminded me that we got to have some hydration nation. But there it is, downside move here. Sorry, downside move. I was looking at Amazon. But blue ocean, as we go down, nothing outside of North America, but generally speaking, we can see some European names or whatever, but that's what it looked like yesterday for that. I said Amazon downside, that's not at all. It's up here to 209. We're still waiting for that 210, but because it's in balance time, 207.75. So I'm gonna cancel my, it's amazing, because this trade, we had a 50-cent stop again to make $3. All right, 207, what is this? 75. Yeah, let's just go 75. 207.74. We'll go offer, enter with that. So again, this will be an automatic trigger for me. These are what we call script orders. They're stop orders. It will run when a 207.75 print happens on the time and sales. It has nothing to do with the level 1 or 2. It has to do with the time and sales. So we'll wait to see when that comes through. We are now moments away. We'll see if that ADT stays.
Oh, it just spiked ADT. Dang it.
But was there action?
It's 18. There is action on
Okay.
ADT. ADT is and bounces in 2 seconds.
It's out
ADT
now.
is going
gone.
into the S&P 600.
Oh, there it is.
And
Buy.
it is 11 million to buy, but that's smaller than what it was expected to be. Sienna is way down there. Rigetti's 2.4, Nvidia 2.2, MSTR 2.3. All well. Nvidia is a sell, but those two are buys. Netflix is a buy of 1.3. IBIT is a sell of 1.8 million. ETH, I just saw there, but then it just moved away. Joby is a 1.2 million buy. IonQ is a 1.1 million buy. There's a lot of names here right now. Yeah, there's the disappointing one. Sienna's only 900,000. That doesn't play, unfortunately. So Sienna, that's a nothing burger on Sienna. But it's still, it still bounced. So Sienna went anyways. Oh, that's kind of weird.
Look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a sell imbalance, and it's upside. Okay, guys, here we go, man. The money is being made right now. It's $350 in the money on Amazon. So there goes Amazon. Upside, we're waiting for 210. Nah, forget it. I'm just going to offer out right here. There it is. We are now out of Amazon. Let's go. Bang, 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 bang. That's a great trade for me. There it goes, Amazon. It's only purple because I didn't cancel my 210. That will get reclassified as a sell, not a short sell. So there it goes, man. 209.60. I just hit offer, enter. Didn't want to wait around. It's a good one. It's Amazon. Thank you so much for that trade, AMZN, at the end of the day. Really helped us sort of cap it out. I've only, and I know that we're only talking about a few names here. For myself, I've only traded 3 names today. So it's been a pretty light day as far as numbers of stock traded. But that's, again, it's sort of a function of, was there the opportunities? Were we able to see opportunity? And for me, we'll go 2 for 3 with really good trades on Amazon, obviously, as we just talked about. And then AMD was a good one this morning on the short, believe it or not, therefore AMD. And then the only other name I made, which is a little petit peu, was Roblox. And that just in and out like real quick. So just 3 names for me. Overall, a pretty decent, very decent day. And we'll end the week with 5 green days. So happy with the way we traded today, and it'll be a good one. So yeah, we'll just continue to watch.
February off right.
Yeah, we'll just start February off right. So 3.
Holy shit, Sienna.
Yeah, just 3 names there. And the thing about ADT is, it didn't go initially on that move.
No, Sienna was, look at Sienna. This was the one.
Yeah, that was the one.
This is, the problem with Sienna is, whatever, it is what it is. Yeah, it was a disappointment because it was also on the list yesterday and then did nothing. That's why I was looking at that stupid ADT stock, and ADT, it's like an $8 stock, and then it came out smaller than expected. But Sienna absolutely blasted. It's going into the S&P 500, by the way. Oh, going back into the S&P 500. It was years ago. It got booted out for somebody else, and now they're getting right back in. But that move is done. So with 2 minutes to go until 355, just understand that the 9 million buy imbalance here, or where is it? Actually, it was 900,000. It was expected 9 million. There is the actual imbalance was 900,000. Now 1 million. That's gonna pair. Almost certainly, there it is. That's going to pair off probably even more in 2 minutes or so. So if you were in Sienna and pick that one instead of ADT, it's never a bad idea to ring the register before you get that flip at 355. That's kind of what you look for. The thing about it is, at 350, you can't really punch 2. You kind of got to go with 1 horse, and then if that one looks good, you just instantly take the shot. Because the algos are so quick, it's not like you're going to be able to. Well, you could maybe use I suppose you could have like a, what do they call it?
Oh, no.
A script order
to
do multiple positions, but.
Oh, no. So we gave up 40 cents. Amazon does hit our 210 mark. So Amazon just absolutely huge there today. So
it only ever takes 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like
so
I traded 7 stocks. My entire day was 1 mean reversion.
Yeah.
1. Only needed 1 to get to VWAP. But the frustrating thing is we're not going to see as big of an action on the index that actually worked this well on Sienna. Most of them are nothing burgers. Like, well, this is going into the S&P. It's going to be like Uber. Uber didn't do anything. This one was pretty clean and continuing to go. But it is 30 seconds until we have 355. So my guess is usually around this time you get a bit of a pullback.
All right, with only 5 minutes left, thanks everybody. We had a big, huge week, man. I mean, there's a lot of viewers kicked in. I mean, the volatility obviously is huge. The trading's been really great, and just keep on, supporting. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I missed it because we did have some members here, and I wish I could. Is there a way I could somehow see members? Oh yeah, okay, so Aziz, thank you so much. 5 gifted memberships. I mean, thank you so much for all of that, right? There was a few, here we go, this is what I want to find. Kathy, thank you so much for becoming a member. It's $5 a month. It gives you sort of access to Sharif's morning note, gives you access to some fun emojis, and really just helps sort of support the channel. So thank you so much to RMIM as well right there. And then Aziz, you gave some nice super chats this morning as well in respect to memberships. So thank you so much for doing that. That definitely means a lot to us as we continue, to watch out for everything.
And we have a couple more.
And here we go, man. Just right as on
I
cue
see
there.
one.
All right, what's up with it? Let's read the
the
super
other
chats.
one. Down to Sky made some handsome in the last. Lots of handsome trades, I'm assuming, in the last few days. Lots of tips from this channel. Thank you, Down to Sky. Have a fantastic weekend for sure. And I believe we've got one more. I think it's Random Oddities. Oh, there it is. Thoughts on this Bitcoin move being nothing but an expired feline? Oh, yeah, okay.
I think it is a little bit of a dead cat bounce, to be honest with you. I mean,
think,
whenever you're getting, look, I mean, here's the chart for Bitcoin, right? Look, a bounce doesn't necessarily mean that it's, the play is dead. We had looked at a daily chart here for Bitcoin, and it looked pretty dramatic, obviously, and I don't even think it was a daily chart that I was looking at before. No, it must not have been. But let's go back down to like maybe a 30-minute is something that I generally look at. But there's the move down into 60, and we were just saying that there was a possibility that we did get all the way back to 70. That was sort of the drop zone, so to speak. Shout out to Canada's Wonderland. If you get that drop there, I'm here, everybody. I'll be back Monday, by the way. So there's the drop into 60, and there's the move right back to where we were. So let's just get a feel for that, right? I mean, I don't think anybody expected this dramatic of a move. We went down $10,000 in Bitcoin in like a day and a half, all right? Then we went back all the way back 10,000 in a day. So it was yesterday at 7 o'clock in the evening when we finally broke 60. So it's going to be 7 o'clock today, and you're back up to 70. So I do think that that's obviously a little bit of FOMO there. People wondering if they missed the bottom. They're buying it here today. I wouldn't be surprised if we get back to 66 or so, and then you can maybe make a decision there. But yes, I do agree that it could be an expired feline-looking move. What up, A?
As some of you guys know, tons of earnings next week. I actually think next week is a bigger earnings week than this week in terms of just the number of names we have per day. We're going to have on Tuesday the likes of Spotify, Coca-Cola, Robinhood, Lyft, Ford, and Ferrari. So shout out to Ford v. Ferrari. We also have on Wednesday, Unity, Shopify, AppLovin. Thursday, you're going to get Coinbase, Rivian, Pinterest, Arista, Airbnb, DraftKings. But I want to talk about Monday because Monday after the bell, we get a retail favorite. Open Door. So this infographic has not even been posted yet. I'm giving you guys a sneak peek. It's going to be released on Sunday evening, and it will be tagged to my very long Open Door research project I posted a while back. So if you enjoy very neutral takes on companies like Open Door in terms of all the different investors involved, all of the different companies and moves involved, I think it's a fun read. I'm obviously biased, but you can check that out on X at TTV Research. And again, for all of your earnings and infographic and other needs. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Dara.
Yes.
So we'll be doing some work in the aftermarket next week. At glance, at a bare minimum, 2 of those days are absolutely no-brainers with enough earnings names, and I was kind of see what the Wednesday looked like. But it is going to be a wild one for sure. We have a minute to go. There's another super chat from David here. You can come in, David. Appreciate you. David Tretsiak. No joke. $2 Uber calls June 18th. $85 for 333, so it costs 666. Really? That's actually okay. That's kind of an ominous number, but go football. Have a great weekend, y'all. Well, good luck. Good luck with that trade.
Oh, David again?
No, but did it really cost you exactly $666? I think it's possible.
You might have done that on purpose.
It's entirely possible. You probably did do it on purpose. Have a great weekend. Go football. But you didn't say I guess you don't have a favorite for who's going to win. If you say go football, that just tells me that you don't care who wins the game, which is perfectly fine. Sometimes you don't have a dog in the fight. And
I don't really care who wins the game either. I mean, I know you're hating on.
But I hate the Patriots, so of course I care.
Yeah. No, I don't. I would just look for a good game, something entertaining. Honestly, I mean.
Well, that too. Yeah.
I don't know. For Sam Darnold, I don't mind. You know, I think
I love the redemption.
Yeah, he's been up and down, and Drake May's second year. So,
but he'll never be back.
There'll be more
The
opportunities.
closing bell brought to you by PDS Biotechnology. That is PDSB on the Nasdaq, everybody, and thank them for sponsoring this closing bell, which we are not ringing live. One of these days, we're going to remember that we can do this for real and ring an actual bell.
I'm not sure why we've chosen.
No, we put it up, showed it one time. We haven't used it once. The mallet's over there and everything. I don't know.
All right, everybody. Look, we're back at 8 a.m.
Yes.
Not tomorrow. Monday.
Maybe.
Wait a second. Oh, no.
No,
President's Day is in 2 weeks. So.
Is it 2 weeks? Yes.
Yeah. So 2 weeks Monday. So we're back every single day. You see the North American markets. Well, I guess not North American. U.S. markets
it's
open.
It's a Canadian holiday, too.
We'll be here. Yeah, I know. It's
we made up a holiday just so we would have one when the U.S. is closed. And we called it Family Day because they couldn't come up with anything better.
I mean, anything better. Family Day is a great name.
No, it's not.
And that's exactly what we should have more family days. There should be a day off
every
month.
There could have been something you could commemorate.
That's
commemorate something.
I'm running for prime minister.
Yeah, because I was going to say, at least Manitoba's is after an actual person in Manitoba. It's Louis Riel Day. It's commemorating, the father of Manitoba, right? So at least we, give ours a name that makes sense, because you're right, Family Day kind of means nothing.
Louis Riel Day, that might get revoked. I think that's a woke situation there.
I'm pretty sure they're really
Louis Riel. Yeah,
that's already
good example, but not great. I'm going to be. I think I'm going to learn French. I'm going to think about running for prime minister, and then potentially give one holiday.
First of all, Carney's French is not that good.
But
I don't think. I think we're getting to the point that it's maybe not as big a problem as you think. I'm just saying.
All right, I'm just going to.
I think we're getting past that point.
Sign up for Duolingo, and then at the end of the day. Spend your weekend with the ones you love. Watch the football game, or not, but spend it with your families or your friends, your loved ones. Enjoy the weekend. We're back first thing on Monday morning. Obviously, a big shout out to Adara. Thanks for making it through the afternoon. I know it's been a busy week and you were exhausted. So thank you, Adara, for that one. Thank you to Sia. Great midday show from her, obviously, as well. Thank you to Big Joe over there for staying late with us, big guy. Thank you, Joe, for that as well. Sorry you will not be watching the Super Bowl, but maybe
I bet he does.
Maybe he will. I bet you he does. I think he will. Was it Milo? What's your dog's name again? Sorry. Milo, yeah, I think he wants to watch it, so maybe you should watch it with him there. And then thank you to Brendo as well today, Fabian, everybody, Andre, Ramin, everybody that's helped us out, and the big man to my exact left,
and the cat,
Sharif, and of course Neil, and everybody who's watching. Thank you so much. We wouldn't have been able to have as much fun if it wasn't for you guys. So great week. All right, good job on the week. It has been a long time since we've been together full week. So this week was one.
This was the first one since probably November.
Yeah, so
because it always happens in December.
I heard Sharif wants to go on a vacay soon, so I think he was talking about a cruise or something.
A cruise?
What's going on?
I'm not a cruise guy.
So
all right. I always say that.
No earnings tonight. No after show. We're back on Monday. There's probably big earnings next week.
And don't forget, on Monday, Peter Schiff is on the show on Monday.
Good one. Is that you, Adara? Who's going to be doing that? Ooh, okay, Adara.
I've already written all my questions. I'm really excited. I've done a lot of research, and I think it should be a fun interview. So
give me one question. Give me a sneak peek. What do you want?
No, I'm going to keep him quiet. I will say there are things that we know what asset he's really into. Expect some questions about that asset, and also the asset he's really not into.
I get no respect.
Oh, we know the asset he's not really into.
Yes, beyond meat. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thanks, Adara. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday morning, 8 a.m. right here.
Peace.